Watch it on my phone in here.
Live, episode 7, the Red River Rundown, live, Apple Podcast, Spotify, YouTube. You can find us wherever you want to listen to your podcast. Gentlemen, how y'all doing?
Good.
Throwing up fake gang
Good.
signs. That's how I'm doing.
Football is going on right now, and this is one of the worst games that I've seen in a while. There's so many penalties. It reminds me of week 0 in college football. And starting with college football, let's talk about the local. Like, we seen OU with Michael Hawkins take care of Kent State. We seen Texas hold a massive L in the swamp, which we kind of predicted in like episode 1. But this leads us into Red River Shootout. And honestly, we should have gotten a top 10 Red River game, but we're not. But what y'all's thoughts on the game? What y'all's thoughts of OU and Texas up to this point? And who do y'all think is going to win?
Well, thanks to Texas, game day's probably not going to Red River now. God damn
good, good
Uh,
fucking job, Arch.
it. I think it, God, it's crazy how you can look at a quarterback and think there's so much talent, but you're still just kind of not sure. Like, I thought Hawkins at times looked really good yesterday, but then at times I felt like he was nervous in the pocket, kind of had a happy feet, made some kind of questionable throws. I thought Jaden Ott looked good. Finally, I mean, I know it's Kent State, but he was making people miss an open space. So was Blaylock. Um, Giovanni Gibson, when he played, he looked good. He had a really nice catch in the first drive. Um, Hopefully Keontez Lewis is okay. He died. But I think next week, Red River, I think it's going to be more low scoring. I think it's going to be a defensive control game. I think the game plan offensively is going to be set up to slow the pace down and give the defense breaks. I think it's going to be, I think OU is going to win somewhere in the neighborhood of like 27-17, 27-14, something like that. I just think I don't necessarily trust OU's offense to score a lot of points with Hawkins. I think they'll have flashes, kind of like they did against Kent State, but to sustain consistent production, I don't know if Hawkins is there yet. I do think he will be there with more reps and more time, but I don't think he's there yet. And I think Texas's offensive line is so bad. I mean, I think they gave up 7 or 8 sacks yesterday to Florida, and Florida's a shell of what OU is on the defensive front. I think OU's defensive front is going to eat him alive. That's just my opinion. So I think it's gonna be like 27-14,
What you
27-17,
think of
something
what you
like that.
think of you gave your thoughts on Hawk Tua pause. But what's up with Arch? You think what have you seen from him? Have you seen any progression? Have you
You know,
seen
you know what I see from Arch, man. I'm just gonna be real. I see a more athletic Eli Manning. Like Arch
Don't
threw
you
for.
don't you
Hold on,
dare talk
hold on.
about Eli like that.
Hear me out
The
though.
two-time
He
Super Bowl winning
he
quarterback, Eli Manning.
hold on. I'm saying
He said, let me tell you.
like watching the game yesterday against Florida. He threw for some yards, but then he makes stupid decisions, and I think I'm starting to believe there's a sense of maybe he's just not comfortable in the pocket because he's constantly getting his ass kicked. And so he's rushing and he's forcing. He's not reading correctly because his eyes are coming down. I'm not saying like I'm not trying to compare him to Eli. I just think that like Eli, I remember Eli would throw for 270, 300, but would have 3 picks, and they were awful throws.
Yeah,
Just
I
bad
get
reads, throwing
I
it right
get
to
what
him.
I get what you're saying. You're saying essentially like he can at times he looks elite and you're like, oh, okay,
Yeah,
that's what everybody sees. But then he'll make 4 or 5 plays where you're just like,
The
yeah.
bro,
decision making
what
isn't
did you
really
see?
polished.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like I said, and that's just based on what I saw yesterday. Because he, like against UTEP, he was dog shit, just complete. Like, didn't look like he needed to be in D1 football at all. But when he has decent games, even when he has good games, he has those 4 or 5 decisions that are like, God, you suck. Texas is trash.
Yeah. Isaiah, what's your thoughts on it?
Well, quite frankly, I think that it makes the Red River rivalry game not as important as it can be. I mean, with how OU is playing and how we were trying to predict Texas should be this year, I think Arch has just been so underwhelming that they go into the swamp and then they lose. If they win that game, there's some sense of momentum. You got to start. You got to think they started out ranked number one. They fall in week one, and they were still ranked ninth in the nation. They're probably going to fall somewhere in the 16 to 21 range, somewhere in between that now, especially with those other teams winning. And I don't think Penn State drops into like anything lower than like 12. But with that being said, it makes it interesting, but it also doesn't make it as hyped up as it could have been because Batir is probably not going to go for that game. So the things that Cameron was touching on as far as like what Michael Hawkins needs to do, it's going to make every single decision that he makes a lot more important. And I think the D line of OU has to also account. Yeah, Arch is playing like ass, but he's also still like he's pretty athletic. Like he can still be able to tote the rock a little bit, and I think he's more of a threat on the ground right now than he is through the air because he lost his favorite white receiver and he just looked like a shell of himself during that game. He lost, I don't know, number 13. I can't remember the kid's name, but he went down in like the second quarter, and then they cannot move the ball at times, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Holy shit, you're down by 10," and then the pace of how they call plays just ramps up crazy. I like where the game looks. I think it'll be really tight, probably even tighter than what Cameron had mentioned. I think it's like 17-13, some crazy stat like that. Unless something happens, like Hawkins has like a big game. I think it's very tightly contested. That's just how I feel about it. I mean, it does suck because the game could have meant a lot more, but motherfucker can't play quarterback that well and goes to the 1-3 swamp and gets dominated like that. It ruins what could have been.
I think it's crazy because I just from a personal standpoint, I don't think Texas should be ranked. I mean, they look terrible against Ohio State. They look terrible against Florida, and they look terrible in a win against UTEP. Like, to me, like if Florida State gets pushed out of the ranking because I think they were like 19 or 18 before they lost to Miami. If they get pushed out of the ranking and Texas stays in the ranking, that would be kind of weird to me because at least Florida State at times has looked elite. They just couldn't beat Miami and I think the Virginia game. I think Virginia is better than people think, but I I think it's the Red River rivalries turned into a game where, like, if OU loses and then rebounds, it's kind of an acceptable loss because Texas was ranked number one and did have all this potential and hype. And even though they haven't really performed a standard, I think OU would have that to kind of fall on if they were to lose. But then if you win, it's just like I don't think it's as hyped a win as it should have been.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
It's kind of like you should have. It's kind of
Yeah.
like a.
But if you lose, you're like, oh, they do still have talent on the defense and blah blah blah. That whole thing. I think that's what it's turned into now.
I think Texas as a team is just not. I think people overrated them. They had a good playoff run last year. They brought in Arch, and people thought it was just reset, reload. People didn't really take account for what they actually did lose. I think they will still be ranked just because they were 9, and it's very rare that a team loses and goes from 9 to
being completely
out of it. And I 100% understand why. And the Florida State thing, the reason Florida State won't be ranked is because they lost back-to-back weeks. So they lost to Virginia, and then honestly, the final score of the Miami game was indicative. Miami dominated that game. They just let them back.
It wasn't a close game.
Yeah, Arch. I'll say this about Arch: if there was ever a game for him to rebound and say, "Y'all must have forgot," it's the Red River game. That
I'm
would
not
be the
having
game for
more
him
than
to
people
come
think.
out. Yeah, that's the game for him to just come out and ball. I do think I at one point was just saying he's ass. I still think that he's not as great as what people were hoping for, but I do also know that Texas as a team, I don't think is as good as people
Yeah.
thought they were. I think that it's a mixture of it. I think people were thinking what they were the last 2 to 3 years is who Texas really has been, and they had kind of forgotten about Texas the last 10, where they were ass. Sam Ellinger,
Yeah.
oh, we're back, man. Yeah, are you, Sam? You're not. So that's just kind of my short thoughts on it. I think they'll be better in the Red River game. They have to be. Maybe they got caught peeking at the Red River game. Maybe they weren't prepped for how crazy it was going to be in the swamp. But I do know that going into the Texas game, anything that you think is going to happen is not going to happen. That is still one of like I know people
Most
like to hype up
unpredictable game.
Yeah, I know people love to hype up rivalry games of like, oh, there's been so many times where as an OU fan I've been like, man, we're gonna go kick Texas's ass and we're down. Or I'm like, man, Texas is gonna kick our ass and we bust their ass. So I think it'll be a little bit of that. Hawkins playing I think he'll be fine, but I also don't think that they're going to uncork the offense. I think we have a backup quarterback. We are not trying to win you a Heisman, my guy. We are trying to win the game. So we're not going to put the ball at risk. There's no reason. We don't feel like Arch can beat us. We're going to slow the game down. We're going to make it ugly and grimy because we know we can pull it out at the end. All we need is a lead. So maybe we come out, OU throws a couple of quick, you know what I'm saying, high scoring couple of drives, maybe they get 10, 14, and they may just sit on that. They may sit on it
Yeah.
and say until it may look like Ohio State, Texas. So if I had to pick a score, it's 20-17.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured
I
it'd
think they're
be
going to see
fairly
a lot of
low scoring.
success early in each half
Yeah.
offensively from OU. I think just because usually the first couple drives are scripted and they'll probably, show some things on those drives. But like you said, that's why I was like, I'm counting on the defense just making Arch's life a living hell
Yep.
and maybe collecting a few turnovers, maybe getting a defensive score. And honestly, I think we have one of the best punt return units in the country with Sategna. I think he showed it a couple times against Michigan, and then definitely showed it yesterday because good God. But I am counting like I don't think it's going to be like 27-17 because the offense is going to put up 4 touchdowns or 3 touchdowns and 2 field goals. I think the defense is going to get mixed in there. Maybe create some short field situations with turnovers. A couple times, I'm sure late Texas might go for it, and we'll stuff them. So
Yeah, they're
I
gonna.
think there's going to be some short field situations
Yeah, it'll be
generated
field
by the
position
Yeah,
game. It's going to be an
yeah,
that's
ugly
exactly what
old
I was
like
gonna say.
90s, early 2000s football game. As a Steelers
yeah,
fan, I've watched this shit every week.
yep.
We're
That's
not
fine. That's
it,
fine with me.
we are
Yeah,
literally playing field position and for every OU fan after that complains about it, y'all ask
Yeah,
for it. Y'all ask for
yep.
this shit. I don't want to hear it. I'm
But
tired of the
honestly,
crybaby
like
shit.
how relieving has it been for the last couple seasons that our offense can go down there and have a chance to put a game away and puke down their leg, and you can sit back with some form of comfort
Yeah.
because your defense can close a game down. Like against Auburn, like I was not worried once when we scored the touchdown and there were still 5 minutes left. I was not worried because not
I
because of
knew.
Jackson Arnold,
Yeah,
but
I knew. I was
the
like, we about to
defense.
cook. Yeah, we're about to cook
Yeah,
Jackson Arnold up.
that's how I
He,
felt the whole game against Michigan. I was like,
yeah,
defense, we're good.
yeah. That is one of the benefits of yes, the offense isn't. I talk about this at work all the time. The offense isn't what the offense had been, what people had grown accustomed to from 2004 until 3 years ago. But it doesn't have to be, and that's the point. That's the point. Everyone wanted championship level play. This is how you win championships. You don't just 45-10 everybody unless you're Joe Burrow with Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. That shit just
Uh,
doesn't happen.
yeah. Well, and I also think like college football in general, you're starting to see that history repeat itself, that trend swing back towards non-quarterback dominance. Like like the late '90s, you had a string of quarterbacks that were dominant, and scores were getting crazy, and quarterbacks were dominating games. And then it kind of went away in the 2000s, and then in the early 2010s until probably a couple years ago, it was quarterbacks were elite again. and offenses were elite. And I think you're kind of starting to see defenses catch up with those modern offenses, and quarterbacks not be as good developmental wise as they were
I
like with
wonder
Baker and Kyler and all them.
I wonder how much of that too is because of just how bad people are at analyzing the quarterback position. Because again, we talked about it last week. Drew Aller was oh my God. Drew Aller, he had a good statistical game, but he ain't it. Arch ain't it. Like that's some of the quarterbacks that I think are the better quarterbacks in the nation. People weren't talking about them preseason.
And I think a lot of it also has to do with like the fact that they don't have a chance to develop really well. With I think the transfer portal is also doing that to them. Is just they're bouncing from place to place, and then how strong defensives have came along here as of late in college football. Defense is actually getting better on the at the bigger schools. Defense is getting better, so that's a huge thing as well. At least my takeaway from it is like teams are building around defense, and it's not like Cameron said, as quarterback dominant or quarterback friendly anymore.
I also think that has to do with the coaches. Um, I think coaching has kind of changed because people aren't really shooting for that generational quarterback to win you a national championship. Like we're not looking for Cam Newton play. We're not looking for Tim Tebow in college. We're not looking for Baker Mayfield or Kyler Murray. They're looking at system guys, and it even trends over to the league. We've seen, bro, Mac Jones looks every bit of capable as Brock
Early
Purdy.
MVP
Yeah,
candidate right
like
now in 2 games.
that
No, I'm
it's
just playing.
Kyle Shanahan. That's Kyle Shanahan, and that's just what it is. That's all I have to say about that.
Didn't look
But
like an early MVP candidate last week, did he? Oh,
who
wait, that's right. He didn't play. His starter was getting his ass whipped by
was
the
Brick
defense.
out there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Brock
Purdy
started
played
that
against
game.
us and we whipped his ass.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's why. Because Mac was out there. You knew what time it was.
yeah.
But
Bro,
Big
did y'all
Daddy
see? Hold up,
Mac.
before you move on. Speaking of Mac Jones,
yeah, yeah.
did y'all see this motherfucker saw a dead body before the game on Sunday?
What?
He saw a dead body before he went to the stadium.
And
You
then
didn't see that report,
he caught
I
all those
didn't.
bodies on
Yeah,
the
and then he
field.
caught
bro?
somebody. Yeah, yeah. He
Bro,
was out there
yeah, I
lighting
was
it
like,
up.
damn, who the fuck
Did you
sees
see the
a
shoulder shrug from that man after
Yeah,
the
bro. He
touchdown?
swag out the
dude?
ass.
Mac Jones been that guy. I'm telling
He
you.
said, "Get the fuck
Well,
out of
Kyle
here!
Shanahan.
Fuck you
Remember,
think
Kyle
this
Shanahan
is?"
wanted him out of the draft, and they were like,
Yeah,
"Well, we have Trey Lance, bud."
Yeah,
yeah, well, we see how that worked out.
Yeah, yeah,
he's a
yeah. But
generational backup.
Sorry, yeah.
before going to the NFL, I was curious. Cameron, you dug into it a little bit. What do y'all think of where do y'all think people are going to be ranked going into next week? Do you think Ohio State stays at 1? Do you think Texas falls out? Do you think Florida State? Like, where do y'all think the rankings are going to fall? Alabama, are they going to jump up a little bit? Vandy, what's up with them? Like, where do y'all think the AP poll does to some of these teams?
I think I think Ohio State stays 1. I think Miami jumps Oregon. I think Mississippi and OU stay the same. A&M stays the same. Penn State obviously drops. Indiana stays. I think Texas Tech goes up. I think that was a pretty good win at Houston. Um, Iowa State obviously dropped. Uh, Vandy should stay in the top 25, in my opinion.
Agreed.
I mean, losing at Alabama in what would be considered a revenge game, and
Yeah.
up until the fourth quarter, they were pretty damn competitive.
Yeah,
So
And it's Vandy, bro. Just
yeah,
give them a break. We might
yeah,
not see this
just
again
let
in
them
our
stay.
life. Yeah.
Just let them stay. You know what? They got 4 losses. Let's get them in the playoff.
Yeah, bro.
I
They're
don't even
top
care.
15. I
they
don't care.
deserve it. They deserve it. They might
Florida
fall to
State,
like
I think.
20.
God dang, man. Florida State is on the
They're
fringe, in
going to
my
be
opinion.
23. They're going to be
Just
23 or 24 if they stay.
yeah, just simply because UVA now just won again. I think was that a
24.
top 25 matchup? I can't remember.
No, Louisville was undefeated, but
Not
yeah,
ranked. Okay,
not ranked.
so that's a good win at Louisville. I mean, they're probably going to be up closer to 20. So your 2 losses are the top 20 teams. I don't have a problem with that, but the Miami loss was ugly. They looked inept for most of the game up until the last 10 minutes of the fourth. Florida
Well,
State
do
had
you
no
make
identity.
could you make the same argument about like Notre Dame didn't fall out? They lost too early, but the teams that they lost to were also ranked.
Ranked, yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
good I mean, that's good.
Yeah.
But I think it's
Just for
okay, go
Taylor's sake, as a Florida State fan, I'm
ahead.
just playing a little devil's advocate. Okay, that's
I
all.
mean, I just don't. Who would you put it? Because I don't like BYU, but I mean, if they're still
Yeah,
undefeated, I throw North
they
Texas in
are.
there.
They beat West Virginia.
What
That's about
South
right.
Florida? Or I'm looking at people that were receiving votes last week.
Uh-huh.
Uh, I South Florida, Utah, Mississippi State, Memphis, Louisville, USC, North Texas, Maryland,
Hey
TCU,
man,
and
Mississippi
UNLV.
State, they looked pretty good against A&M for most of the game yesterday and just kind of fell apart at the end.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Levy's a couple years away with Mississippi State, man. I I like what I've seen from them for the last couple weeks.
yeah,
I
man. A
mean, they've
couple years
lost
away
both
from
games,
being back.
but
A couple years away from being back in Norman.
Mhm.
I when I look at Florida State, man, I some of these teams are undefeated. Yes, this is where I get conflicted with rankings because I think you should be ranked based on what you've done and what you deserve. But then I look at teams like Florida State who've just had, they lost the top three. Miami against UVA was kind of stroke of bad luck. So when I rank them, I catch myself wanting to look at every other team and think, okay, Florida State would beat them, in my opinion. Florida State would beat them, in my opinion, and I think they should be ranked because of that. But based on merit and what you've done versus other teams that I think are probably going to be ranked, maybe Florida State gets bumped for a week and they have an opportunity to get back in it next week. Kind of like Notre Dame was unranked, right? Before last week. Didn't they drop completely from the rankings for
No,
a week?
they were
No, they
24,
No, they
never.
25.
stayed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
they
okay.
never
They
got out of
were
the
they were 0
rankings.
and 2 and were still ranked, and it
Yeah,
didn't make a lot of sense.
yeah. I think they were
Okay.
0 and 2, and they were like 19, and
Yeah,
then they like fell again because some teams won. They got
I,
pushed back to like 23 or 24.
which is
I will tell
crazy.
you
Yeah,
this. Even with two losses, I think Florida State's better than Iowa State. I think they're better than Missouri. I think they're better than Illinois. I think they're better than BYU. I don't think they're better than Virginia because they lost. I don't think they're better than Arizona State because I think Arizona State's sneaky good. But I think they're better than South Florida. I think they're better than Mississippi State, Memphis, Louisville. Utah, I
yeah.
think, should be ranked. I think Utah's better than people think, even though they
Florida
lost to Texas
Florida
Tech.
State to me it's a tricky rank because
Yeah.
Hmm.
They have
with
one
them
good win in week one.
well the even with the Bama game they were able to jump out ahead of Bama. In every other like their other two losses back to back, if you get a lead on them, they're ass.
Yeah.
They
Well,
rely on too much. Like they're honestly when they look like they play behind, they look like no disrespect, Isaiah. They look like Mike McDaniel's.
Hell yeah,
I,
baby.
That's
people don't realize this, but they also beat Alabama, and it was pouring rain in that
yeah,
game. And Florida State had a lead and just ran it down their throat the rest of the
and
game, which is
and
what they
that's
do well.
yes, it's one of those to where when they have a lead, they look great. But
Yeah.
they made a mention of it last night where when Miami got up, there was no portion of Miami that was like, they're going to come back. Because you could see it in Florida State's offense, too. It was screens, misdirection, trick plays. They drop him back. He didn't like it. He would take off running. They just didn't trust it. So I think they'll still be ranked, and I think it is still early in the season, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Honestly, if we're talking about a team that should drop out,
Penn State.
yeah,
Penn
I
State
would
is
be. I would be
terrible,
fine, and I get it.
Man,
They made a run, but like you can't lose. Have you seen who
bro.
UCLA was what 0-4?
Dude, yeah, and
yeah,
and all blowouts. They were
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
smacked.
Utah,
Hmm.
UNLV, Northwestern, and then somebody
Hmm.
else. Not good premier names. People were talking about Nico like he should never play football again. And Buddy comes out and is like, "Y'all remember
It
Cam
looks
Newton
like
in
a
his
Heisman
prime?"
front runner.
Bro,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah,
man.
All he did was
God,
have like almost 500 all-purpose yards.
yeah,
he had
five
five
tutties.
touchdowns.
Yeah, he's. I think they said he's the only quarterback in college football history to have two passing touchdowns and three rushing touchdowns in the same game. That's
That's
nuts.
crazy.
That's nuts. That's you, Penn State. Good job.
So that's you. Good job. It's all your
Yeah.
fault.
All right,
It's
fellas. Oh no, go ahead, Kim.
I was gonna say it's kind of crazy because when you looked at OU's schedule, Texas was circled, LSU was circled, and South Carolina was circled, and now South Carolina's not ranked. LSU is not top 10. Texas is going to be not top 10. And the one team that you circle, you're like, this is about to be dope. Game day is going to be in Norman. It's going to be Mississippi.
That's crazy, right?
That's crazy to me. That's going to be a top 4 game. Like,
Yeah.
Let
That's
me back up.
yeah,
Potentially, because OU's got to be top 4 for it to be a top 4 game. But it's top 5 if OU wins. That's kind of crazy.
yeah. It's I look at OU schedule and I'm like, man, fuck. Like the Ole Miss game would be the one that I'm like, man, I'm a little worried for that because coming off of the Texas game, then you go to South
Yeah.
Carolina, and then it's like, okay, are you guys going to be ready for that? And then the Tennessee game, it has my attention because it comes right off of that. If they escape Tennessee undefeated, gentlemen, I may drink myself into a coma. That shit will be lit as fuck. Because I mean, even at that point, you have Bama who is starting to try to turn it on at the end of the season. You have LSU doing the same thing, and those are kind of like Bama's a blue blood, OU's a blue blood. Game day will
Bro,
be in fucking Tuscaloosa.
Ole Miss is doing this with a guy that was a 0-star recruit at quarterback.
Yep.
Who didn't even start at the beginning of the season. And he's now a Heisman frontrunner. That's crazy. Lane
Lame.
Kiffin's a fucking genius, man.
Yeah. That's
That's
why Jackson Dart is in the NFL hitting that shit. Got
bro,
his first tutty and was hit that
man.
shit. Yeah.
Man, fucking Texas is one OU blowout away from the Fire Sarkeesian campaign beginning.
Absolutely. Texas, they don't care.
They don't
They
get.
do not
It's
care.
gonna be a Lane Kiffin circus. They're gonna try and get Kiffin in there. I guarantee
Absolutely.
it. Or Gundy.
Absolutely.
I can see him trying to
Oh
go after
God.
Gundy.
No. Oh my God. We're going to NFL. Fuck all that. We're going to
Yeah,
NFL.
no, not
Isaiah.
That's a
Isaiah,
reach.
you've been wanting to talk about the season-ended injuries. I'm gonna cut you a promo. Cut you a season-ending because we seen Tyreek's knee and leg just looking like
Yeah, bro, that hurt me.
yeah.
Is this thing on? Let me tell you
It's on.
something.
Let me
tell you something. Yeah. So I think it is the high profile players this year that have gone down with season ending injuries. You want to try to figure out how the hell it's happening because Miami has a grass field. For a while it was the turf monster. We need to switch back to grass. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's their training methods, but like Tyreek's was a freak accident. Joe Burrow's not out for the season, but like a weird, crazy one-off toe injury sidelined him. You look at God, there's so many now. I'm trying to like keep up with this. Malik Neighbors with tearing apart his ACL. Joey Bosa tearing his ACL. It's like, yeah, the ACL thing is not as big of a death sentence as it used to be. But Jesus Christ, man, I feel like this is the worst year that we've seen in recent memory where it's like, because before, somebody might be out for like a couple weeks or something. But now, teams' IR slots for the organization and the fantasy football standpoint, they're filling the fuck up right now. I mean, everybody's getting hurt. Joe Mixon might not even play this year. It's kind of, they're not sure about him, which before the season, it was like, oh, yeah, he's just going to be on the IR for a couple weeks. Like, no need to worry. Might not even play. I mean, I'm looking at every injury that I can think of on every single team, and you're like, dude, it's giving other guys opportunities, people that we don't know of, but it's like, why are all the stars getting hurt?
Can I play devil's advocate with you?
I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I just gotta ask.
A lot of the people that you mentioned are repeat offenders. They get hurt all the fucking time. It's not like it's Nick
Joe
Bosa's first
Burrow, yeah,
ACL.
definitely,
Nick
yeah,
Bosa, he tore his knee up. Like he hasn't had as crazy of like an ACL tear, but he's usually nicked up. Kittle, he's usually always hurt. Joey B hurt. Malik Neighbors, that's a new one, but I mean, when
yeah.
you play in New York, bro.
Tyreek to that nasty
Extent,
extent,
yes.
yes.
Yes. But for the most part, a lot of the
Joe
guys
Mixon being
are
out this long, like
Joe Mixon had been. That was why, since he didn't want to re-sign him, is because he was getting hurt and he was getting older.
yeah,
But It's early in the season. I think a lot of the ACLs and the Achilles, good
Yeah,
God, and Tyreek's good God. But a lot of this stuff I think is just let's hold you out longer than we probably should because it's early in the season. There's
yeah,
still
I see that.
16 games left where we can get you back. If we can hold the ship steady, we'll be fine. I can almost guarantee you that San Fran, if if they would be cheeks right now, they would have rushed Kittle back a long time ago. But
Oh yeah,
because Mac Jones is out there slamming that
he's a fucking
motherfucker,
sucker. Making
because of
Kendrick
that,
Bourne.
I
yeah,
Jesus Christ, it's Kendrick
yeah.
Bourne.
I will say, it's fucking stupid, man. You sent that picture. I laughed my ass off. I uh I will
Also,
say a couple of things regarding the NFL injuries. Number one,
I
um,
forgot James Conner. I'm not trying to cut you
Oh
off, but
yeah,
James
no, you're
Conner
good.
and Mike
repeat
Evans
offender,
get and Mike Evans
repeat
gets
offender.
hurt at some point every year. The CD one has been the craziest one because CD's never missed that much significant time, like even like a week. Like he'll be out a week, but this is like, no, he might not come back for like 3 weeks.
Yeah. I I'm usually I'm not a surface guy. I mean, I I know turf is a little more takes a little more of a physical toll on joints and stuff because it's not as giving as natural artificial or not natural grass. But I don't feel like outside of New York, New York historically has caused the most significant injuries to stars at MetLife. So I think something needs to happen with that stadium at least. But the other ones, man, I don't feel like I see a lot of significant injuries, like an overwhelming amount more than I do on natural playing surface. Does that make sense?
No, no, yeah,
MetLife.
yeah. I think,
MetLife is horrible and
Yeah,
it's noted. It's
yeah,
horrible.
it's
yeah,
been noted that it's been
Like
horrible for a while.
I
They're never going to rip up. I know a lot of
yeah.
people, and especially former players, tweet it. The reason that it'll never, ever, 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 ever. Well, I don't want to say never, ever, ever. The reason that they don't have a strong enough case is because they're not understanding that they're bringing up names, but it's like 1% of players. So it's like,
Yeah.
okay, 1% of players are getting hurt in a contact sport. The other 99%, they're fine.
Yeah.
So you
See,
know how much it's going to cost to rip all this turf out, put grass in, keep it going, and then you have injuries where once it gets cold and all that shit dies, and
well,
you're
the
playing on a
joints,
skating
yeah,
rink,
yeah.
yeah.
it's the same thing as
And
turf.
that and
I feel like
that's why
the
I said
Bears
like
organization never takes care of their field.
Back in the day, we
like
could play and ain't
I feel
nobody
like
tear. Like, yeah, because you guys weren't explosive. Y'all were running 5.4 40s,
I feel
smoking a
like
pack of menthols.
two of the biggest reasons why you see so much more significant injuries now is number one, I think the rule changes to the game. You know, like when you play free and you're not pulling up worried about getting a penalty, you're thrown out of the game. I think that causes when you're trying not to get hurt, you usually end up getting hurt. That's how I've always known it when I've played sports. Anytime I've tried to play careful and tried not to get hurt, that's usually when I end up getting fucking hurt. But also they they're so much more physically like asked of the players and they have to train so much more and build their body so much more. And I think a lot of that has to do with it too. Like when you train so hard and you see these guys in 2025 are just jacked and ripped out of their mind, you know, and you look in the 90s and you had like you know, a few players on
Reggie
each team that
White,
were like that, and
yeah,
everybody else was like you said, pack of menthols, beer in the locker room. Like
Reggie White was
you
built
know,
like a
when you're working
CDL,
out that fucking
like a
much,
fucking long
eventually your body's gonna wear
truck
down.
driver.
yeah. It's you're putting your body under so much stress to stay competitive that your body
Yeah,
eventually is just like, hey, bud, I'm gonna
yeah,
Why don't
make
you
you
sit
sit
down for
down.
a second?
Yeah,
Yeah, why don't
yeah,
you sit down for a little
yeah,
bit?
and
yeah.
yeah,
Just take a year
80s,
off.
90s. I hate. I this is the
The
I
back
hate
of my
listening to
day,
old. Yeah, I
bros.
hate that shit so much because it's like, okay, look, bro.
Y'all
Even
were
I'm
also doing lines of cocaine and
Oh yeah.
even then, bro.
I think one
If
of
I
them's still
just
doing cocaine on the sidelines of
man,
the
yeah,
games.
fuck yeah, fuck yeah.
shout out to Michael Irvin.
Belter, yeah. But even past that. I even from like our generation, like 20, like the early 2010s or right before that, the ask of what we weren't asked to do the same things. There were hurry up offenses. There were players like that, but like they were so few and far between. People, I remember when people saw Adrian Peterson running like that, and they immediately was like, "Oh my God, it's Bo Jackson!" He was, and it's like, no, he's actually faster than Bo Jackson. He's
Yeah.
stronger than Bo Jackson. And now it's like all those old stories of, well, Bo knows. Bo Jackson would be a regular athlete right now because we
Yeah.
have fucking defensive ends who are 6'5", 270, running
Fucking Miles
4'4",
Garrett, bro.
40. Yeah, I'm looking at
Yeah.
Miles Garrett on the screen right now. He
Uh,
would pick Bo Jackson up and throw him.
It pisses me off how big pause Miles Garrett is. It
Hey,
doesn't make
yo.
any sense. It doesn't make
Right.
like his bend around the D ends, how low he gets at his like stature, and he's
bro,
fast as fuck, man. Like
And
I'm
he
not
can
gonna
windmill.
lie. I had
yeah.
that coming to Jesus moment. Like Marlon said, I think it was late 2000s when I saw James Harrison bend the edge and pick up Vince Young's 6'6", fucking 250 ass and body slam him in the pocket. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God.
Yeah.
That's a lot of man he just picked up with his own without in wrestling they help you.
Yeah.
This man just picked him up with no help
Yeah.
and
Vince was trying to dead weight him, and he was like, "Nah, get your ass over here, bot."
No,
basically a
especially
Three Amigos fucking German suplex
when
in the
when
pocket,
I
bro. I
saw
was like,
him
God.
play volleyball with big ass medicine balls
Yeah,
in the
that's
sand as
different.
Yeah.
training, yeah, that's like
I
that's unheard of.
before moving and talking about Shedeur, uh, I wonder too. I don't see a lot. Well, just knowing, being around football locker rooms and stuff like that, people don't stretch. You do it like they stretch
Yeah.
before the game because they're made to stretch. I don't think a lot of people actually stretch.
It's
I
like
think they're
half-ass
just,
Yeah.
stretching.
yeah, yeah, and that's a big deal. Like that's your body has a lot of these joint injuries or like ligament tears. It's because your ligament doesn't have any flexibility, my guy, and you're putting all that strain on it, and then you make a plant or a cut, and it's just disintegrates. It just
Then it
Thanos
just
snaps,
dust.
and yeah,
Just dust.
yeah, that's
Someone
that's what it
hamstring
is,
fell
dog.
about a
Looked
month
like my
ago.
brake pad I took off the other day. My piston.
Good God, Isaiah, I want you to cut another promo because your boy is all on the news, uh,
I don't know
giving.
where this came from that he's my boy.
That's your boy, bro.
What
Stop it. That's your
what
bro. That's your boy. But he just cutting an interview in the locker room like this.
when he was pantomiming basically.
Yeah, yeah. What's your thought on the Shadir situation?
I think that he is
Shaduki.
well, I'm not well, not only well, let's be honest, not only that, but I definitely believe that he is like a he's just trying to still get this notoriety. He was pretty impressive in the preseason. I don't think anybody's taking away the talent that he has, but it's like you are just a natural hater. Like, bro, you're like you just who gives a shit? Like, you're supposed to be there for your teammate, and you're causing more issues being stupid. A true professional. I mean, you also have to look at who his dad is, but a true professional would be like, like, yeah, I'm excited for him. He's out there to compete. He's got a great college career. I know he's capable of a lot of things. I'm just here to support him. Basically, if you're the fourth string quarterback on this team, third or fourth string quarterback, your role, I don't even know how the fuck they're interviewing him about it.
Clicks and views. That's why. Clicks and views. That's
Yeah,
why.
yeah, exactly. But on top of that, it's like you're the third string quarterback, so like your opinion, it really doesn't matter a whole lot because there's a lot of things that got to go bad for you to even get an opportunity to play. And of course, there was that theory that, oh well, they tried to sabotage him in the draft and blah, blah, blah. But Shedeur wasn't that great in college. If you look at between the two comparisons of the two careers of these two quarterbacks, Dylan Gabriel had a better resume at playing a higher level of competition in college. So does it necessarily warrant him being drafted ahead of Shedeur? To a certain extent, but also if you're looking at the paper trail of like, oh, well, Dylan Gabriel played at everywhere he played at and competed at, the teams were successful and left with a winning record. You can't say that about Shedeur. His first year in Colorado, they went 4-8. His last year, they had a better season, but he's never been that impressive to sit there and have this notoriety to make it seem like, oh, I'm gonna garner more attention for myself just because I'm a fucking hater. He's a hater, bro. Like he is 1,000% a hater. And Dylan Gabriel is just trying to use this opportunity to compete and get his shot at playing in the NFL because not a lot of people get to say that they played snaps in the NFL at quarterback and were
The
competitive and were able to
Browns
win games.
in the Browns,
At the
yes,
Brown,
a
okay.
lot of
But
quarterbacks get to say it.
all right, that's true. But I'm saying overall, that's a hard thing to come by. So let him get his shot, man. Fuck you, like you know what I mean. Like leave him alone. That's how I see it. Him
So,
pantomiming, I can't talk right now. That's stupid.
so
That's immature.
I have a little bit of a different take. Um, I personally I get so goddamn tired of it. I feel like it doesn't matter what Shador does or says. Everybody's gonna have a problem no matter what he does or says. When he talks, they have a problem with the things he says. I don't really feel like what he says is that like is that bad. But then when he gets criticized for what he says, he decides to, he could have went about it differently instead of pantomiming. I mean, that was petty. But to not speak, to not comment, I don't have a problem with that because when he does comment, he gets chastised, he gets fried by the media for the things that he says, even if it's not necessarily bad. And I think he gets a lot of unfair criticism because of who his dad is and what the University of Colorado decided to do. I think that's where a lot of it kind of started, the whole retiring his number. That wasn't his decision. That wasn't him. That was Colorado trying to appease his father and his family. And I don't think that's real fair to him. But
I think a little bit of it is ego, though. I mean, to
yeah,
be
no,
honest
no,
with
he
you,
definitely has an ego. He's a Sanders. I mean,
yeah.
Well,
but
most pro
but
athletes have egos.
I feel like, yeah, like through the draft process and his interviews, at least like I said, I'm not gonna act like I went through and like did a deep dive and watched these whole things, but the clips that they made, I didn't have a problem in anything he said. I didn't feel like it was super arrogant. It was just more matter of fact to me. It's things that I would have echoed if I had the talent he had. He doesn't want to be drafted to be a backup somewhere. He wants to be drafted somewhere he's going to be able to compete and have a spot and have a chance to play. You know, to me, saying something like that, I don't know, that to me that I like that if I'm a coach or GM because that tells me you want to be competitive. I don't, and maybe I'm reading that wrong, but I don't know. And like I said, in Cleveland, first of all, there's no reason he should be third string when Joe Flacco's on the fucking roster. I mean, Joe Flacco's lost his job more than any quarterback in NFL history. So even if Shador's biggest knock is that he holds the ball too long, even if you hold the ball too long, I'd still take you over Joe Flacco because when he does fucking fling it, he does throw well. I don't know. I feel a little bit differently. He does do some things that, like the pantomiming thing, like I said, was just petty. That was kind of dumb. But to just the concept of it was he didn't want to answer. I'm okay with that because
I
the last
I
time he
think that's
answered,
a
Rex Ryan fried him.
I look at it as what do y'all want him to do?
Yeah, that's
Because
that's what I'm saying.
because
Like it
do
pisses me
y'all
off.
do y'all want him
I,
to come out and say because we watched a whole quarterback situation last year where Bo Nix got the starting job in Denver and I forgot his name, basically shit on him in the locker room. So
yeah,
the competition had always
Zach
happened.
Wilson or Jarrett
No, it
Stidham.
wasn't Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson was like, "Oh, I'm excited for him. I'm excited for him." It was the
I
other
think it
guy
was
who was
Jarrett Stidham.
yeah, Jarrett Stidham shit all over him, and they talked about it for 30 minutes, and that was it. Shedeur has not came out and said "fuck Dylan Gabriel." We have no idea what he's saying to him in the locker room, but people want him to say it to the media, and his thought is like, regardless of what I say. Y'all are going to make clips of what I say. You're going to take it out of context. People are going to
Mhm.
post it all over social media, and I'm going to be the bad guy regardless. The like him acting like he's talking, it's sending a message. In my opinion, I think people are too quick to react to what he's saying rather than looking at the context, similar to the practice interview where everybody shit all over Allen Iverson. And then whenever he explained that he was literally dealing with the loss of one of his best friends, then people understood it instead of just saying, shut up and play. So for
Yeah.
Shedeur, for me, I think he's damned if he does and he's damned if he doesn't. And then to compare him to Dylan Gabriel was successful in college, but he wasn't overly successful. He went to OU. He wasn't overly successful. He was at OU. He went to Oregon. He wasn't overly successful at
He was
Oregon.
at
He
Oregon.
was
Yeah.
at Oregon. So
He
it's
wasn't at
not like
Colorado.
it's not like Dylan is elevating anybody. He didn't he numbers wise he did, but if you even compare Dylan to the his peers at OU and at Oregon, he was by far the worst that they've had. He wasn't Caleb Williams. He was better than Spencer Rattler. He
Yes.
wasn't Caleb Williams. He wasn't Jalen Hurts. He wasn't Kyler. He wasn't Baker. He wasn't Bo Nix. He wasn't Herb Dog. He was none of those guys. So he went there and the team was successful. But shit, Will Howard went to Ohio State and the team was successful. I don't think that had a lot to do with Will Howard.
Well, that's
But
yeah. I was gonna say like Gabriel, like at OU, he lifted them to a win one time, and
in
that
that
was against
Texas game,
Texas.
yeah,
Yep.
and
Every
it
other,
honestly wasn't all him either. It was a
yeah.
lot of the running game.
And
I, me
at Oregon,
personally,
I don't remember him lifting Oregon to a win. I remember the Oregon like the unit they had as a whole.
yeah,
You
Oregon
know what I'm saying?
was a good team. Honestly, what I think it is people either love or hate Shedeur. The people that love him over love him. The people that hate him over
Yeah.
hate him. I think Dylan and Shedeur are both Dookie. I don't think they're as good as people think they are. I think they're both like whenever you take the I don't like Shedeur, so I'm going to say that Dylan Gabriel is that good. He's given you a half of football and he's thrown the ball 21 times for 102 yards.
Yeah.
He's not he's giving you the exact same thing that you would think of Shedeur, except Shedeur is going to take more sacks. But Dylan Gabriel is Tua. He got to let go of the ball too fast. So it's a I
At least
think
he can run a
yeah, but
little bit.
I don't think people understand that like the ceiling for both of them
It's not that high.
backup
I
quarterback, backup quarterback.
I think my biggest thing is the Shador doing what he does. I mean, obviously we're talking about it, and it's because from a organizational standpoint, from a football standpoint, from a purist, you want to be like, what the fuck was that? And also
Yeah.
his reputation, not like it was bad as far as his like overall behavior, but I think the way that he some of the things that people didn't agree with that he was doing leading up to the draft and the kind of the build up of him being at Jackson State and then going to Colorado and then competing in his second year at Colorado. I think you see all the shit that comes with Shador, whether it's good or bad, and people attach themselves to it in a way that can be looked at very positive, very negative, but yet we have to discuss it because it looks different, right?
The
It's he's calling his shots like a prime 2000s diva wide receiver, like on some Ocho
Yeah.
and To type shit. And you're like
right,
you're a third string quarterback, so people are upset about it. I don't agree with what he did because it doesn't make sense at that time. It's like
but the only
why?
reason we know about it is because he's Prime's kid. If he
Yeah,
there, I can almost guarantee you that there's been other guys to come out and say the same stuff, but nobody cares because it's a nobody. He's a Sanders. So if Arch came out and was like, "I'm a fucking," yeah, it would be the same thing because he's a Manning. So it's
I think
like
everybody would be like, "God damn, Arch, yo, chill out."
but the reputation thing is one of those where it's like he can't control it. He
Yeah,
can't control what people think
Well,
of him.
yeah, and
He
it's
can't
like
control any of that shit.
I wonder how much of him thinks the same way that Isaiah is saying. Like, I wonder how much of him sees these reporters pile up on his locker and he thinks, fucking third string quarterback, why y'all
Exactly.
interviewing me?
Exactly. And
And then
that's
he
why I'm
pantomime because fuck, he thinks it's like, why y'all interviewing me?
Yeah.
And then if I say something, y'all are going to clip it and make it out to something I'm not trying for it to be. I wonder how much. I mean, obviously, nobody's not going to take that and enjoy it, but I wonder how much if you put a truth serum in him. I wonder how much of him is like, I'm the third string quarterback for the Cleveland fucking Browns. Like,
Why are
why
y'all
are
here?
y'all at my locker?
Go talk
Go,
to coach. Go
go
talk to
away.
Myles Garrett. Go
Yeah.
talk to
Go
Jerry
talk to
Judy.
Dylan.
Yeah,
Go talk
like
Because I
to
don't see
Denzel
any other
Ward.
third string quarterbacks getting interviewed. Like
right. And
anywhere.
No.
that's my thought on the whole thing is like he ain't doing it. Like they're at his
Yeah.
locker and he's just like, bro, like if he has just a normal dude where he's just like, bro, yo, why like if he comes out and says, why the fuck are y'all talking about me? Why are y'all here talking? I'm third string quarterback. The next morning on Good Morning
Shedeur cussed
America.
out some
No,
reporters.
they won't even say that. Rex Ryan will just be like, "Oh, so now you don't want to compete, huh? What you talked all of that mess in leading up to the draft, and now you don't want to compete? What kind?" And it's just like, bro, just fuck off, you fat
You
fuck.
know what I want
That's
to happen
that's
so
the
bad.
football purists, though, right?
Oh,
The guys that have been in the game beforehand, and I think that's why we're sitting here talking about it. Is because it's like,
I don't
yo,
even
like
think it's
you,
a
look,
football purist because
all
when he's trying to compete and be a football purist, Rex Ryan is shitting on him. So
all of
like
this could
regardless, he's gonna
be
get shit on.
yeah.
like resolved so simply too. Like, you know, I know a team out there that's desperate for a quarterback. Trade his punk ass to that team and let him get a chance. And if he fucking fails, then all this shit is over. Nobody got to deal with it no more.
Bro,
But
in
until
three
he
years,
gets a chance to fail, they're gonna
this
keep interviewing him for the
This
clicks.
this next 3 years is going. In 3 years, Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders will probably be either out of the
Out the
league in the
league or on the
CFL
practice
or
squad.
XFL. Yeah, nobody
Yeah.
cares. Neither I don't, and I can be wrong. I'm wrong all the time. But I like for one, you're up against it because it's Cleveland, right? You're just going to be another name on the shirt. Two, neither one of you guys elevate a room that much. And then three, who the
I
fuck cares? It's the
I just
I
Browns.
I think
I
from a
just say
leadership
like
standpoint, I
the
think that it's different between those two. That's the only thing that I'll say. I
It
think they
depends
work different.
because everybody
Dil-
is led different ways.
yeah,
Some people can be
yeah,
led how Dylan does lead, where he's quiet, but some people don't want that from their quarterback. Some people want their quarterback to be brash. Some people want their quarterback to have that fuck it, we want to win. I'm sure if you ask the Dolphins locker room, they wish Tua had more confidence. And he's just out there, well,
I I
look
just
at these
think like
tattoos, baby.
I wonder
tribal
if you
tats,
put
baby.
Shedeur somewhere. Now, I say this very cautiously. If you put Shedeur somewhere where like Cincinnati, where he can throw the ball to a couple of dogs. I wonder if he could find some mild success and bring an energy to a franchise that desperately needs it without Joe Burrow. The
He
only
will
reason
still
I say
get sacked seven
cautiously
times a game.
is because
Their
their line
offensive
is so
line.
bad
God, it's horrible.
and he holds the ball too
What?
long. So
Okay,
I don't even know if it would matter.
in a perfect world, what offensive line can he take snaps behind to where
I
he
don't
really
think
has that opportunity?
I don't think it's necessarily which offensive line. I think which offensive minded coach can get the best out of it. I think it's one of those where you see it in the league all the time. Guys go to bad
Shanahan
situations.
or O'Connell?
Shanahan, McVay, O'Connell,
That's
Minnesota.
yeah,
that's
like
about it. Yeah, there's like
those are
two
the
teams.
situation those are the situations where you watch quarterbacks who were almost out of the league, they get to a spot and then they just start balling. We look at Sam Darnold right now and he's hooping. Again, I don't think Sam Darnold was ever going to be a dude, but I think
Yeah,
he's going to be like I think Shedeur could be a system guy.
yeah.
Is essentially where I'm at. I think Brock Purdy holds the ball too long, but he's in San Fran. If you put Brock Purdy in Cincy,
What are we
brother,
talking about? Yeah, what's that look
brother,
like?
yeah.
Hard pivot
But
though.
yeah. Fuck what Shadir's talking about. Like I said, I don't think he's bad. I don't think either one of them are terrible, but I also think that the noise around it is people are over. People think they're better or worse than they really are, and it's really not that. But
Yeah,
Isaiah, I got fried on TikTok because people said I'm a Jared Goff hater, and I'm not a
yeah.
Jared
There
Goff
was
hater.
there was some passion in your voice when we were discussing it, and
And And
I
I
think
want to let Detroit Lion fans know, fuck what y'all talking about. Like I'm not hating on Jared Goff. I just think that Jared Goff is Dak Prescott. I think he puts up hella numbers in the regular season, and then you get to the postseason and he's ass.
just playing a little game of, well, at
Go
least
ahead.
Jared Goff has played in the Super Bowl and played in conference championships
Yeah, but
compared to
he
Dak
also
Prescott.
didn't have fucking Mike McCarthy as his coach. He had one of the best. Sean McVay is a top five coach who's been back to another Super Bowl and won one, and is constantly a presence in the regular season.
Yeah,
I
could you argue that the talent that both of those since Dak Prescott's been in the league, the talent that he's had defensively and offensively since he's been in the league, can you argue that they're a wash with Jared Goff and him? If you're
yeah,
looking
and
at it
that's
from a standpoint of that's where I'm the only thing that I'm saying that at least in Detroit under the under Ben Johnson, right? I'm giving the flowers where they're due. Where that is at is that the fact that Jared Goff in the same conference and arguably the divisions in present day, pretty much NFC East, it's the Eagles, and then everybody else is trying
the Commanders
to
went to
make the
Detroit
playoff.
and beat the shit out of him.
No, I know that aspect of it. Last year. With that being said, is the NFC North better than the NFC East? And the fact that Jared Goff was at least able to get to a conference championship game in this
Mm,
present day, giving
in
Ben
the in
Johnson his
the in the
credit.
pre in the present day, no, because I don't look at Dallas's roster in the last 3 years and think that they're better than Detroit's roster. I don't see Jameer Gibbs. I don't see Amon St. Brown, and I love CD Lamb, but he struggles with drops. He struggles with consistency and stuff like that. I don't see the offensive mind that Detroit had, and I don't as good as Dallas's offensive line had been for a decade. They don't have the Detroit Lions offensive line, and my point wasn't that Detroit as a whole wasn't doing well.
We're
My
just
point was,
arguing Jared Goff
yeah, my point
versus.
was is if you ask Jared Goff, where Jameer Gibbs is getting fried, he's not able to run the ball, Montgomery can't get anything going, the defense is getting ate up, and you have to have Jared Goff throw the ball and be a franchise quarterback week in and week out against elite teams, can he do that? And the argument and the thought process of the Dak is we see that Dak is against subpar talent. Dak has beaten the Seahawks in the playoffs. I think he's beaten the Rams in the playoffs. He's done that. But his problem is always when he plays the elite teams. He's never able to take that jump against elite teams. And Jared Goff neither has he. He went to a Super Bowl, but that was more of a Todd Gurley, C.J. Anderson, Sean McVay situation than it was Jared Goff slinging that motherfucker. And Dak has finished as a runner-up in the MVP conversation. Jared Goff has never even been a thought. So just comparing them two directly as players, that's where I'm at.
So, from a comparison standpoint, when you look at their schedules, the most impressive win that you could argue at the time that the Lions have had this year, right, was against the Ravens at the time. At the time.
Yeah.
Obviously, now it doesn't look as good. Unpacking the rest of their schedule, their biggest competitions going forward are probably going to be the Chiefs, the Bucks, the Commanders, the Eagles, and they play the Packers, the Cowboys, the Rams, the Steelers, the Vikings, and the Bears to close out the year. So like if you're looking at it from that standpoint, the game that Jared Goff looked the best without the running game being as sharp as it could have been was probably, well, I mean you have a point. It's hard to argue between like stat wise. But I think what Jared Goff is doing is being very efficient in the times that he does have to drop back and throw the ball versus Dak. Like Dak has to throw the ball like at least
and
35 times a
and
game.
that has been my point the entire time is that Dak has to backpack Dallas for Dallas to be good. Jared Goff can come out and have a 15 for 37, 145 yards, and Detroit wins by 20 because their team is just so fucking good. He doesn't have to be Superman to be successful against the Packers, right? Their common opponent. Jared Goff threw the ball very efficiently 31 39, 225, a tutty, and an interception. That interception came at a bad time. They scored 13 points against the Packers. They did not have a run game. They lost, right? 225. He averaged what he got. His QBR was 51.9. That same opponent played Dak on what Monday Night Football.
Mhm.
It went to a tie, and Dak went 31 of 40, 319, three tutties and no interceptions, 94.5 QBR with 85 yards from Javonte Williams, which is nothing to
Mhm.
bark at. But
Mhm.
that with no CD Lamb, that's my Dak has to backpack him. If you put Dak on Detroit, if you put any of these other guys on Detroit, I think they can do what Jared Goff does. I don't think Jared Goff can go do what other people do. And that's never been a knock on Jared Goff. It's just Brock Purdy's went to a Super Bowl. Do you think Brock Purdy is very good? He's
No.
a system guy. Yeah. That's
I
that's
don't believe
been
that Jared Goff is a system guy. I think you can argue like his first year in Detroit, like it was terrible. It was very
that whole
bad, and
team
that's
was
kind of
terrible.
yeah. And you look at that season, that's like a wash for Jared Goff. But like the what he started out with in Detroit, you can't knock an organization for developing and drafting players very well, so that benefits from it. That was my argument with like the Dallas teams of a couple years ago. It was like no, they drafted well. They had a good defense for at least a decent amount of time. They had a good run game. They have always had in one shape or form a really good receiver and a formidable and serviceable tight end. So when you're looking at those teams, like that's the only thing that makes me be a little more impressed with what Jared Goff has been able to do. Not discrediting Dak at all, but I'm just saying from the sense of like, well, I mean, fuck, I mean, they at one point the Dallas Cowboys did have a top 10 defense, and they did have a Pro Bowl receiver, and they
When
did
did
have
they
a
have a
really good
top
time.
10 defense though? Like legit, legit.
I think it was like 2021 or 2022.
Maybe.
It
I
was
still
it
wouldn't
was
believe it. I think Micah was literally the only person on that defense that was of
and
any
that was the year
substance.
that Trevon Diggs had all those
And I think
interceptions,
he
and
was
yeah,
also giving up the most yards by a corner.
yeah,
And again, from what you just said, I see that more as Detroit as an organization is better than Dallas. I don't see it as Jared Goff. But
fuck
yeah,
Jerry Jones. No, I'm
that's all like I've never argued or thought that Detroit wasn't like that as a team and whatnot. And I don't think that Jared Goff is bad or ass.
Oh,
I just think he's when you compare direct quarterback play, I think
Mhm.
I get more Brock Purdy from Jared Goff than I do win us the game Jared Goff.
I
Because
think right now
he
we haven't seen him have to do it yet, but there was times last year where he definitely.
I'm talking about in the biggest moments. I don't care about like it's
Uh,
like comparing them because I've seen brother. We have seen Dak for the past 7 years in the regular season
Dak in what 2022 was a front runner for
for
MVP
MVP.
after like
he got
after ten
second.
weeks.
We've
Yeah.
seen Dak cook and then get to the playoffs and play elite teams and get his shit pushed in
Here's
with
the
him
look.
having to backpack it.
Here's the thing with Dak, man. It's like when it's when he gets to the playoffs, and it seems like it's when he has to face a team that will line it up and run it down your throat and play just solid defense against him.
Yeah.
Like teams like San Francisco, I think 2 or 3 years in a row they faced Dallas in either the wild card or the divisional and skull fucked them because they run the ball down their throat and then they just make Dak check down. They don't let him throw crazy like down the field passes. They don't let him throw it across the middle. Like they force Dallas to play a game managed style of football. And Dallas can't do it. They can't run it consistently enough because their line isn't as good as it used to be. And Dak, I don't feel like is really a check down kind of quarterback. He's a throw the ball long or until he broke his leg, he was a take off running kind of guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After that, he was like, "All right, I'm gonna
This,
But
chill."
I've noticed that because like Trevor, I feel like Trevor's the same way. Like Trevor's a
yes.
downfield thrower, and when you
Yes.
force him
To check it
to
down, he
take
gets
to take in
greedy.
chunks, yeah, he can't do it. He's not like that. That is what Tom Brady was so elite
Yes.
at. Was
Yeah.
okay if you're gonna play 6 yards off the ball, I'm gonna
I'm
throw
gonna
this
check
fucking
it down
slant.
50
Yeah.
times,
Yeah,
bro.
I'm gonna absolutely abuse this corner. Like
I
Yeah.
mean, that's what
quarterbacks
Tua's
are built
became as
that
well.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah, before we do the Jared Goff, would you rather Jared Goff thing? This is my final point on it because I don't want Detroit fans to kill me on TikTok for anymore. My whole point has been if you're in the playoff game and you get down 14 early, Do you trust Jared Goff to come back?
14
We've
early.
quick, where essentially
I
the
don't.
rest of the half you have to just, or let's say 20, and the rest of the half you have to throw
I
because the
don't.
run game is taken out of it. Do you trust Jared Goff to bring you back?
There's
I
too
don't.
much time
I
not
don't
to.
trust. Yeah. Well, I was gonna say I don't trust Jared Goff. I trust the system.
The
But if it's a situation where it's a 14-point lead, Detroit turns it over, and the team goes down and scores again before the half, and it's a 20-point game at half, no, I don't trust
the,
Jared Goff to be
the
able to
reason
throw
I
them back
bring
into
the
it.
reason I bring it up is because that's what happened against Washington last year in the playoffs.
Yeah,
Washington jumped out on him. They made Jared Goff have to throw the ball. He threw the ball to the other team.
yeah.
And when you see the Chiefs, when you see the Bills, when you see those teams get down, you never think, this shit's over with. It's a
Definitely
matter of
not the
time.
Bills.
Jalen Hurts, same kind of way with the Eagles. If they get down, you're like, the separator, because the easiest comparison is Jared Goff does almost essentially the same thing that Lamar does. He has great regular seasons, and then he gets to the playoffs and he shits down his leg. The issue is Lamar has 2 MVPs because he actually has to backpack Baltimore. So him, as far as what he does, he's won 2 MVPs. So it's a he. I can at least he does fuck them in the playoffs, but again, he has to get them there. Jared Goff doesn't have to. Jared Goff goes down and gets hurt. I think that they'll be fine with whoever the fuck their backup is. I don't even know who it is at this point.
Well, they cut Hendon Hooker, so I think it's like
Well, Hendon Hooker's in
Brandon
Dallas, huh?
Allen.
Yeah, yeah,
Brandon Allen, I
yeah.
think
I
is
would
his
be
name.
fine. They won't be as explosive,
Kyle
but
Allen.
shit, yeah, Kyle Allen. But they won't be as explosive. But brother, you have Jameer Gibbs, you have David Montgomery, you have Amon-Ra St. Brown, you have Sam Laporta, Aiden Hutchinson on the other side of the ball. Like,
J-Mo.
yeah,
J-Mo.
you guys will be
Laporta.
aight. That's my thought. If Lamar goes down, which he's down right now, they're dookie. If Dak goes down, they're dookie. Like there's a lot of guys that are just dookie
What's
without it.
Hey man,
crazy
Cooper
is
Rush won
is
some games last year. Damn it.
it's crazy because
In Dallas,
if Shedeur
Shaduki.
didn't if he didn't come out pre-draft and basically say I'm not going to be drafted by a team that wants me to be a backup, he would be starting right now for the next
Baltimore
2
called
months.
him. That's my
Like,
knock on Shedeur
yeah,
is Baltimore called you and you said no, no,
yeah.
and
Like,
you would be
it's crazy
starting
to
in a
me.
better organization. That
You're
is a
stuck third string behind Joe fucking
If we're
Flacco in the
going back
worst
to the
organization in
Shedeur
sports.
shit, that's the thing that
Yeah,
the people in the media are going to sit there and say, and you could look at it from a competitive standpoint, but you could also look at it like, why would you not take an opportunity to fucking ride the bench with a 2-time MVP quarterback, and then if you have an opportunity to
learn.
win a game, yeah,
because you want to
Like,
play.
you can
yeah,
play all
but
Do
you
how
you
many?
want. You
go?
can play your
But
way
my
right
thing is
out of
like,
the league.
Do
how many times have you seen quarterbacks want something so bad too early instead of just going to get drafted where in a good organization and becoming a backup for let's say 5-6 years? Like Aaron Rodgers worked out
Jordan
pretty
Love,
fucking well.
It did, but he hated his
Jordan Love.
life.
yeah.
Yeah,
It,
but how many
for
times
Shad-
have we seen guys come in the league and get drafted because they have that attitude? They get drafted to a shitty team and organization, and their career's over in 3 years. You
he
know what I'm
wants to go out
saying?
on his own shield. I think is the difference. I
I
think he
mean, and that's
wants to.
admirable.
Yeah, I
Just
think he's gonna be sacking groceries before too long.
yeah.
But he just if he wants to go out on his own short like his own shield, like more power to him.
I think of the guys like Chase Daniel and Matt Flynn, fucking Troy
Yeah,
Smith. Troy
but
Smith was
but
elite in Baltimore as a backup.
but
When he got his
here's
time, he was crazy good.
here's the difference.
Tyrod's the ultimate example, son.
Yeah.
Period.
If you're coming from a all-time great NFL player,
Yeah.
do you think being a backup is
No.
yeah, that's the difference. Is Matt Flynn who the fuck is his pops? Like we don't know.
That man got
Eli would have came in the league and they'd have been like, Eli, man, we need you to back up a 2-time MVP. And Arch would have looked at him like,
well.
I
Oh,
mean, Eli is a great
That
example
did
of somebody
happen,
that was
right?
like, Eli's like,
Yeah,
I'm not
I'm
playing
not
in
going
San
to San
Diego.
Diego. Yeah.
exactly.
And then they're like, "Fuck, man, we got to
Yeah.
pivot because he's a top 3. He's gonna be drafted top 3
Eli
picks."
Manning is so funny for a guy that won 2 Super Bowls and actually had a really good career. He had so many like memeable pictures on the sideline when he's getting his ass kicked. Like Jesus
Which is every
Christ,
week. Which is every
It's
week.
fucking
But
so
all right.
fucking
Let's jump into this. Would you rather Jared Goff?
Okay.
That way I can make Detroit fans hate me even more. And we're gonna start out with some softballs here. All right. Would you rather Jared Goff or Russell Wilson? Russell, I just
Jared,
got bench Wilson.
Jared Goff.
Jared Goff.
Facts. Facts. Would you rather Jared Goff or Perk Rogers?
Jared Goff.
We're just talking for
This
this
year.
year, not
This
full
year.
full
This
career,
year.
just this
Oh,
year.
yeah, Jared Goff.
Yeah, I figured that's what you were saying. That's why I was like, I know people know me better than to be like arguing that.
Would you rather Jared Goff or CJ Stroud?
Jared Goff.
Man,
CJ Stroud at the
tough
moment
to
is
me.
playing subpar football, even with their impressive win last year.
Yeah.
There's no.
And you said we're
Not even close.
talking at this
Right
current
now.
moment the way they look.
We're not talking. I'm not talking. If you want to do it just from a production standpoint, that's fine. Or if you want to do it of what does CJ Stroud look like in the Detroit team versus what Jared Goff looks like, that's up to you.
I would
Jared Goff still.
probably do CJ Stroud.
I would go CJ if he was in Detroit because I think he would be
Yeah.
better. I think if Jared was in the Houston situation,
I have
he would be looking
seen-
like Dylan Gabriel.
I have seen CJ Stroud, whether it be college or pro, I have seen him will his team to a win on his arm.
He
Like-
had to. Houston is dog shit without him. He's
Like
had
that's why. And I've seen Jared Goff do it too, but I think right now Jared Goff's old and CJ Stroud's young. And
I don't think he's old.
31.
But, yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think he's
31.
old, but he's
old.
He's getting there. You're right. You're right.
he's
All right.
older. God
Yeah,
damn it.
yeah. Okay. Would you rather Jared Goff or Bo Nix?
Right, Jared Goff.
Jared Goff, but I will always believe.
I'm going Bo Nix. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm going Bo Nix.
I'm just not a Bo Nix guy.
I'm not
there's
a
no
hater of
rhyme or-
Bo
There's no
Nix.
rhyme or reason for me to pick Jared Goff. I'm not a Bo guy.
I wasn't at first, but Bo, he be slinging that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Would you rather Jared Goff, Baker Mayfield?
Baker Mayfield.
Fake.
Would you rather Jared Goff, Patrick Mahomes?
Mahomes.
Why are you asking dumb questions, Marlon? Why
Hey, I'm just trying to see where you know what I'm saying? Okay. Would you rather Jared Goff or the guy that he was traded for, Matt Stafford?
Oh, Matty Ice. Even this year is still. He's just as long as he's healthy.
Brother,
He's been healthy this year.
11 tutties to 2 interceptions. He is
Bro,
fucking
he's slinging it
Ryan.
with no run game. Like,
Yeah.
run game is inept in LA, and he's still out there just flinging it across the yard.
He's like, I don't even know why they keep leaving Puka open like this, dude. It's ridiculous.
At some
man,
point,
gee,
when
they
he-
can't even open,
when he-
bro. Puka is
bro,
just.
Yeah, like at
There was a
what point-
play. There was a play on Thursday where Puka was lined up in the slot, and it was man over, and literally, I think the outside receiver ran like a little corner out, and both of them went with Puka. I mean, both of them went with the outside receiver, and literally Puka just like turned around. There was like 9 yards ahead of him. I was like, that's the one dude that like you don't.
Can't. Yeah.
Why are you sagging off in coverage to the dude that's been cooking you all game?
Yeah.
Puka
And-
is on pace for like 2,000 yards.
Yeah. And Matt Stafford will easily give one of those. Fuck it. Puka's
I'm
over
sorry.
there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but if I don't know if you guys have seen this stat, but there have been 2 and potentially 3 either 2,000-yard seasons or near 2,000-yard seasons in NFL history for a receiver.
Matt Stafford.
Matt Stafford has thrown all of them.
Matt
Like,
Stafford.
That's crazy.
Jesus.
That's.
Defenses hate to see Matt Stafford coming.
I'm gonna go back to hating on Detroit for a minute. I was in a conversation. I went live on TikTok and I was in an argument with the dude talking about it, and I was like, "You think that Jared Goff is what Matt Stafford really is? Go fuck off."
Bro, like, listen, you touched on this just a minute ago, but I don't even think it's an organizational thing. It's fucking Dan Campbell. If
Yeah,
Matt
he's a
Stafford had a
fucking
head
man.
coach in a system like anywhere comparable to Dan Campbell, Matt Stafford has more than one ring right now. My opinion. If
I
him and
agree.
Calvin Johnson had Dan Campbell as a coach,
Who
Who
had
was their head coach?
Jim Schwartz,
Schwartz.
and then Caldwell. Was it Caldwell there for a little bit?
Jim
And
Caldwell.
and then fucking.
You know how
He had
bad of
like
an
4 head
organization you
coaches,
have to
bro.
be to have Matt Stafford and Calvin Johnson on the same team and
Bro,
fucking
do
suck.
you know how bad
and they can't win 8 games. That's
bro?
Yeah.
Did
They can't
they
win
not
a game.
was that not the team? Were they not both on the 0-16 team? Matt
Yes.
Stafford and Calvin.
Matt
Correct.
Stafford
Who the
got
fuck
hurt.
has Matt Stafford
he
and
was
Calvin
hurt,
Johnson?
but
I don't give a
yeah.
shit. He was there for
I don't
some
give a
games.
shit.
You're
How
right.
the
You're
hell do you
right.
go 0-16 as a head coach with those two on your team?
Hey, bro,
Like,
that's why they're not coaching.
and they had Pettigrew was solid. Like,
Yeah.
that's crazy to me.
Would you rather Jared Goff or Indiana Jones?
Jared Goff.
I'm going Jared Goff.
I'm sorry.
Have you looked at Indiana Jones's numbers though? They're good,
good.
but they are, but like touchdown wise, he's only throwing 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, well, he's got Jonathan
Well,
Taylor.
he's ranked for 3
I feel
or 4.
like that's true, but I've personally just watching it. I don't know if maybe it's because of his ceiling. I thought he threw for like 18 touchdowns already.
You're like,
bro.
bro,
The way
Jared
people
Jones
are
is
talking
balling.
about him is like, I feel like it's like the reverse Varsity Blues, man. I think he throws it all the way down the field, and then they get to the red zone. They're just like, all right, JT, here you go.
Yeah.
Hey, bro,
But
I
he
got
only
JT in
has
a
3
fantasy.
rushing touchdowns. He only has 3 rushing touchdowns.
They took
that
one
is
from
true.
him last week, bro.
Yeah.
It was nasty, and they took it from him. And
yeah,
then
that spin, yeah. I remember that one.
my last one, right?
I already feel like I know where you're going with this.
You say it then. God damn it!
Is it Trevor?
Or Trevor.
It is actually Trevor. Yes.
Oh God.
Give me Jared.
I don't know.
I'm gonna go Jared. I'm gonna go Jared Goff.
I'm probably going Jared Goff.
But and I told y'all this when we were talking to Trevor a couple weeks ago. Oh my God. But if they continue to do what they're doing, right? And Jacksonville, if they win another playoff game and Trevor starts actually looking good and the numbers fall into place, hey,
I will say this.
Hey.
Trevor has when the lights were the brightest, he has looked like in the same game the worst NFL quarterback of all time
ever, and then the best.
Yes, like and both in the same game.
There has been a playoff game in like that I immediately thought of while watching that game, and it popped right back into my head, and I was like, that Trevor Lawrence playoff game looked exactly like the Andrew Luck playoff game against the Chiefs, where everybody or the Texans maybe. Where everybody just,
I think it was the Chiefs.
Okay.
I think it was the Chiefs.
Yeah, you had 3 or 4 first half turnovers.
Yeah, because I think that was the last year that Alex Smith was in Kansas City.
No, the Steelers actually beat Patrick Mahomes into the league.
Oh, okay.
Boswell kicked like 8 field goals, and then we unleashed. Actually,
either way, those games those are my examples of what I don't think. Knucklehead in Detroit can do is when you're down 28 to 10 going into the fourth. I don't think he can throw you back into a win in a big game like that. Yeah, and I don't know if Trevor can ever do it again, but he did it.
But he's done it. He did it. Yeah, I that's where I'm at, and I hate because people think that because I'm just saying like I don't believe that Jared Goff is truly elite, which if you think that he's elite, that's fine. But because I don't think he's truly elite, people think I hate him. Like I love Jared Goff as a quarterback. I think he's a solid quarterback. I think he's exactly what Detroit as an organization needs.
Yeah.
But if you look at their last 2 quarterbacks, I'm taking Matt Stafford every single fucking time. Anyways. Who do y'all's teams play? Obviously, Steelers on a bye week, so we winning.
We played the Panthers without Chuba Hubbard.
2-0 in the last couple weeks, Isaiah. I told y'all was going to win on Monday. I told you. What did I tell you?
Yeah, you did.
What? Nah, don't be mad now. Y'all going on a run. I looked at y'all's schedule, believe it or not, Isaiah, and I think y'all can go on a mini run. I think y'all can go on a mini run.
I think we get like five in a row. I'll give us five.
Hey,
5 in a row.
Just enough to get your hope back.
Yep, and then we go into divisional play.
Y'all's division ain't even that tough, bro. I think y'all can beat the Patriots.
We already lost to them.
I think y'all can beat them the next time. The Bills is going to beat the shit out of you. I'm not even going to lie. I'm not even going to try to get you.
We competed against the Bills until Tua wanted to throw a late game Phillip Rivers style interception.
Hey, brother, it happens. Now, oh yeah, brother. Next week y'all may get beat by. Actually, let me see. Y'all play the Chargers next week. Then you get the Browns, then the Falcons, then the Ravens, who may. Oh, never mind. I'll shut up. That 3-game schedule, y'all may not have a franchise anymore. The Ravens,
Well,
the Bills, and then the Commanders. But
well,
then
the Ravens don't look that good right now.
right now, but this is the only pause I have for the Ravens and people that you remember last year the Ravens defense was ranked like 32nd at one point,
Yeah.
and then they clicked and then they went to 1 in like 3 weeks. Give them time. Give them time. But go ahead.
Uh, no, I mean, if we don't beat right now, we are predicted to lose. It's like it's 49 to like 50.8 for leaning towards Carolina. So if we can't take care of business going to Carolina and we lose to that franchise, granted they did beat the Falcons. Okay, they blanked the Falcons. I'll give credit where credit is due. But I think our offense looks a little more opened up in a way that we haven't seen because Tyreek is out. And that's my God's honest opinion. I hope I'm fucking right.
Oh, Njoku, let's
Njoku.
go, baby!
Damn it.
I said y'all. It's gonna look ugly early. I think Tua is starting to get comfortable, and I'll text you what I believe is going to happen to Tua. I don't want to say it here and get canceled, but it has something to do with. I think
Him getting knocked out
he'll get
again?
yeah, bro, because he started to throw caution to the wind, and he's running a little bit too much. It's scary.
His CTE interviews are starting to get a little more
Yeah, bro.
frequent, a little more frequent, a little too frequent.
Isaiah,
Well,
I have a
anybody can
question
play
for you.
quarterback, and well, huh?
Would you
Draft a quarterback next year.
no? Would you take Jameis Winston over Tua?
Our record would look the exact same.
Do you think so?
So I think so.
Yeah, bro. Them pick six demons that he was fighting last year
Bro.
is still there.
Yeah.
I
I
think
think that's the only difference. I mean,
I
we
think
would
Jameis Winston
probably
do better.
score. Well, I think we would score the way that our scoring would improve to where there might be a game where we put up 40 and then immediately put up 10 right after because of James.
Yeah,
Right.
he
I
is
mean, you
wildly
gotta
inconsistent.
Yeah,
with
he needs to go to
with
Cincy.
with Tua.
He
This
does
is
have
the
a
worst.
just. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I was gonna say that Tua has had the worst start to a season since he's been a quarterback. Like since he's been starting this year, he looks like they're not pushing the ball down the field. So
Yeah,
Is that
at
him
least
or is that
Tua,
McDaniel?
I think
I
it's a
th-
mixture of both.
Okay.
I think it's a McDaniel thing trying to protect him so he's not
Yes,
holding the ball that
that's
long.
what I was thinking because.
We're going to
No,
hell.
I know, but
When he slid, my guy, when he slid last week, I mean, well, on Monday when he slid, I was like, oh Jesus
Bro,
Christ!
every
I thought
when
it
he
was
threw
over.
when he threw the pick against Buffalo, I saw him angling to make a tackle, and I was like, Jesus Christ, don't do it.
every
Just let him
time
have
Get
it.
out of the way.
every time he runs, I give that pal grunt because I'm like, oh my god,
There he
he's
goes. There he goes.
yeah, and I think he ducked his head last week, and I was like, dude,
Yeah, he lowered the fucking shoulder. I was like, what are you doing?
yeah, I think it's a mixture. I think it is a mixture. Cam,
Did you hear Wu Tang? You got to protect your
man?
neck.
Yeah, Cam, Monday Night Football, Kansas
Yes,
City.
sir.
They were
Yes,
on
sir.
your helmet on the clips too about that
Mhm.
Chiefs prediction.
About
Are you
about
are
the
you gonna
Mahomes.
double down on it? Are you saying fuck the Kingdom Nation or whatever the fuck the Chiefs
Yeah,
is?
Chiefs
Chiefs
Kingdom.
Kingdom.
Chiefs King, man,
Man,
that's
Tell them
Taylor.
to do
That's
man,
a
all over
Swift
here.
Kingdom. Swift Kingdom.
man, fuck them. You know, I don't give a damn. I don't give a shit. I think that Kansas
I'll
City
give
dynasty
Bill.
is over. I think that Jacksonville's that man leading the league in turnovers forced. I think we're gonna get after Mahomes, man. Make him make bad decisions. I do
Did
think,
you did you call him Patrick Mahomes? Is that what you just called him?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's all smoke and mirrors now, man. I ain't scared of his punk ass no more. And people don't forget, you know, they ended the magical run that Trevor had a couple years ago in Kansas City on some bullshit because we can't hold on to a football.
They
So
cheated.
Yeah,
Can't hold on to
I'm
the
getting tired of all
football.
these fucking flags and Mahomes with crybaby ass whining for calls. You know what? Fuck them. I hope we beat them by 50. You know what? Jags by 17.
Damn, where's the
They got
game
they
at?
got to come. They got to come to the Amazon, baby. They got to come to Duval.
Oh, it's gonna be hot as a bitch
This shit
too.
is gonna
Yeah,
be
it's gonna be
lit.
It's gonna be
It's
sticky.
gonna be
99 degrees at
humid as
night.
fuck. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
gonna
Cramps
be
and
We
real.
we
It's
mustard,
gonna
we
be
we
mustard
real
and
coming,
pickle
baby.
sultry.
juice. Yeah. Hey,
Real
Now,
sultry.
realistically, Trayvon Walker's out. He had to have surgery on his wrist, so he's gonna be out for a couple weeks, which kind of hurts because now teams can kind of zero in on Hines Allen on the edge. But whatever we're doing schematically in the secondary is working. We're giving up yards, but we're forcing turnovers. So I know we're doing more blanket coverage and keeping things in front of us and reacting to the throws as they come in front of us, which is causing a lot of balls getting hit up in the air. But I think if Kansas City cannot figure out how to get Isaiah Pacheco going, it's going to be a long day. Long day for them. That's my only take. I'm not
they ain't
saying
got
that. I'm not saying that
They
Jacksonville's
haven't gotten the
offense is
running
gonna.
game going in
3 years.
3-4 years.
Hold on. Last year, before Pacheco got hurt,
He had good
he was
games.
going pretty well. I had him in
for
fantasy. I would
for
not.
them, but he was catching more passes
Yeah.
than running.
I feel like Jacksonville. If
He's
there's a
never
hole in
ran for
Jacksonville right
1,000. That's
now,
why I don't trust their
he's always fucking
running game.
hurt because the way he runs like fucking striker, man. He don't care about scoring
He
touchdowns. He
runs
wants to run people over. But yeah, I think it's gonna be. I don't think. I think it's gonna be like 24-21 Jacksonville.
That's a bold statement, Cotton.
Yeah, and I'm keeping receipts for everybody that mocked me when I said I put the bar at 9.5 wins and I took the over. God damn it, because we're after Monday night we're gonna be 4-1 and the schedule's gonna be looking good.
Hey man, you're not wrong. That's why I said I rock with it. I rock
Yeah.
with it. Pivoting, gentlemen, we got some playoff baseball and preseason NBA. I watched the Yankees had the bases juiced with no outs. Aaron Judge step up to the plate and get fucking hosed. And then 2 batters later, I watched Giancarlo Stanton come up and get just straight absolute gas blown by him. And I knew right then and there the Yankees were done.
I don't know, man.
It's only game one though. Is this a
No. I'm
5-game
saying just for
series?
I'm just saying just for that game.
Oh
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just 5
But
game
they did get
series
smacked by the Jays,
Yeah.
though, bro.
And they were
Toronto
it was
beat them 10-1.
Yep, and it was 1-, or it was 4-, or no, I think it was just 2-0 at that point, and they had the bases juiced, no outs, and I'm like, oh, and Aaron Judge is up there, let's fucking go. Oh, we went somewhere.
All rise to the
Yeah,
bench.
yeah.
Sit your ass down.
Who do y'all think? Who do y'all think wins the World Series?
Hold on, I'm pulling something up real
Realistically,
quick.
so I'm looking at. Man, I honestly think that the Dodgers just like limped. Well, they didn't limp in, but they just were on cruise control throughout the season. Um, I could see them going back to back. I think the Blue Jays are good competitors, and I just want the Mariners to get there. I mean, that would be nice, but they would have to.
They got to beat the Tigers,
Yeah,
and
they got to beat
I don't
the
know.
Tigers, and I don't know
I
if they can
mean,
do that.
yeah, the Tigers are up
It'd be
1-0
dope
right
if they
now.
got there. It would just
Yeah.
be dope if they got there.
I mean, what game 2 is later tonight, so we'll
Yeah.
see. The Dodgers and the Phillies should. I feel like that should be a good series, but it's
Like I said, I
the
truly
Dodgers,
believe
bro.
that the Dodgers were just coasting. They didn't give a shit about their record. They were like, bro, we're gonna make it anyway. Like
Well, I think it's
turn up.
even if it wasn't coasting and they were dealing with stuff, I think it's one of those situations where it's just get there and see what happens when you get there. I don't think they're afraid to play anywhere. I think they understand they have one of, if not the best fucking first 3 to 4 batters in the league. So,
Hall of
and
Famers.
then you have Shohei Ohtani hitting 6 to 9 people down when he's pitching. Mr. Baseball,
All right,
yeah,
I
go
got.
ahead.
I'm just gonna tell y'all. Number one, give me the Phillies out of the National League.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Give me
Okay.
the Phillies. They were the best team in baseball for a long time. They're really deep. They have good pitching and they have great lineup. So I know they lost game one, but uh, I ain't scared of the Dodgers. Fuck them. And this is a little bit of a bold take, but Detroit stole game one against the Mariners, and they didn't even pitch Trevor Skubal, who's the best pitcher in baseball. So they got Skubal on the hill tonight. I think they go up 2-0. I think they win that one. And I think they have a better pitching staff than the Yankees and the Blue Jays. So give me the Tigers and the Phillies in the World Series. And I'll take the Phillies to win it all.
That'd be nice. Ain't happening.
Yeah, little Bryce Harper, get him a little ring.
Man, fuck Bryce Harper. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. Dodgers, Dodgers, Dodgers,
Bro, it's
Dodgers,
it's
Dodgers.
it's so hard to go against the Dodgers, but I'm tired of them. Fuck them.
I feel that they're the like what the
They've just
Chiefs
been
were.
so
Yeah.
dominant for
Yeah,
so long now,
and then they
like
just get
15
better every
years.
offseason.
Yes.
Hmm.
It's stupid. It's to the point to where I just expect it every time they start rolling people. I'm like, of course it is. Of course it is.
There it is.
Yeah. Preseason basketball though,
I mean, they
what
said
are
life
some
is barely
players or
possible.
teams? Yeah, what are some players and teams in the NBA that y'all are looking forward to in the upcoming season? We're 16 days away from tip off.
Yes, sir. I think first of all, let's see how the broadcasting looks so much differently. I'm just going to start with that. Just having games on Prime and going back to NBC. First of all, we haven't heard that intro in so long, and I'm mostly
Man.
jazzed for that. I'm just like, yeah. I think Shaq's going to be part of NBC. He's the only one that signed a deal. I think Ernie.
I thought they all
Uh,
did. Did
did
they
they
renege on
all?
it? I thought they
I
ended
don't.
up I thought
The
they get to stay in Atlanta, nothing changes, and they're still gonna be doing it.
Oh, okay. I
I'll
wasn't
check while you're
sure.
talking.
Yeah, I would say I couldn't remember, but that's the first thing that is kind of like getting me excited about the season. One, it's going to be a little more accessible until Cameron went ahead and hooked your boy up with his YouTube TV. I was like, fuck yeah, I get to watch way more games because I actually have Peacock and I have Prime. But if Charles signed, because I remember Charles wasn't sure if he was
Yeah,
going to sign with them.
they're I just looked it up. They're all it
They're all
says,
back.
yep,
Oh,
they're all back.
cool. Okay, cool.
It'll be
But
on a
that,
new network. Obviously, it'll be ESPN and ABC. But from what I
yeah,
heard on the deal,
they
they're
all
going to
signed.
allow them to do whatever, and
Yeah.
it makes more sense too, especially with ESPN because ESPN also has McAfee. And if you
Hmm.
remember last year, TNT and ESPN started doing like crossover shows where Stephen A.
Hmm.
Smith would be there. And
Hmm.
I think they just did that to show them, like, nah,
I
bro,
was
we're still
kind
gonna
of
let y'all do what y'all
buttering
do.
them up a little
Yeah, yeah,
bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then once you give
Um.
them a blank check, bro, it's gonna help.
Yeah. I think. Let's see how the Spurs look. At me, obviously, as a Spurs fan, I just kind of want to see. Um. One, Wimby, if he stays healthy, getting De'Aaron Fox, having Stephon Castle. Getting who we got in the draft. I can't remember his name off the top of my head right now, but who we got in the draft. And then of course the Thunder. I want to see if the 76ers can turn around their fucking disaster season last year. That was a waste of a lot of money and a lot of people's time to try to think that they were gonna compete.
With Pandemic
Um,
P, baby.
Pandemic P. But those are the teams that I look at the most. And then, how does LeBron's role look for your
I
team?
don't want to talk about him.
He's I don't even fucking talk
Fuck LeBron.
about.
They'll be fine. They're just gonna have to score 140 points a night, and it's not gonna be
Yeah,
doable. They're gonna have to
very
make a
true.
move. Rui, who's your mama, will probably get moved, but it is whatever.
Rui Hoochie
Honestly,
Coochie.
I'm curious about the Celtics because I think they'll take a step back, but I also think they
Yeah.
won't, if that makes sense. I think Jalen
I think
Brown
they could
can.
still go to at least to the second round of the playoffs with
Well,
the team
yeah,
that they
the
have.
East right now is New
It
York.
just Yeah, it looks weird though because Al Horford didn't stay. I think that's one of
Yeah,
the
going to Golden State.
yeah, I think he was one of those like foundational pieces, like one of the fundamental guys, one of the guys that kind of helped that team go at times. If the Stars weren't playing well, Big Al was going to hit like four threes in that game and fucking
Yeah.
block a couple shots, get some rebounds.
Yeah, at some point though, they had to move on, so I understood it. But
The
I am curious
age,
to,
yeah.
yeah, I'm curious to see them. I'm curious to see the Knicks. The Thunder, are they just going to come out and just start rolling teams again, which they're very capable of doing? What is it gonna look like? Honestly, that's what I want. Player wise, the player that I'm most interested in going into this season, Anthony Edwards. He talked to his daddy in the offseason, Michael Jordan. He learned
Talk to my
about
pops.
postseason, like posting people up and a couple of things like that. He's, as someone who's at almost every level has been considered the best, he got a reality check last year of, hey, you're really good. You ain't good enough. And no matter how good you are, you're not what the Thunder were last year. So I want to see if the Olympic experience with then getting your cheeks clapped and then being able to talk to your pops, is that going to bring out the best version of Ant-Man?
Yeah, I think he is such a high level competitor, but at the same time, it's what else is that organization going to do? Because you lost Nikhil Alexander Walker, he's gone. So what did you do to help improve the team? Because when they played against the Thunder, not Rudy Gobert was such a fucking waste of space on that team. They, not even as an enforcer, I think there was a game where he had like 2 points and like 6 rebounds. Why is he on the court? The game has changed. Like, yes, against certain teams that helps, but I think losing to Kill Alexander Walker is going to hurt them more than they realize. So hopefully, if they've done other things, I haven't paid attention to them specifically, but they've done other things amongst that organization to make them feel better going into this year with Ant trying to improve his game even more.
I don't think they did. I don't think they
yeah,
did a lot, but again,
yeah.
it's the Rudy Gobert thing. I don't think the Timberwolves as a team is they're going to be better, but I'm curious about what Anthony Edwards does this year. I think this could be an MVP season for him. And honestly, for me, it's either him. There's three names that I think for MVP this year: SGA, Luca, Anthony Edwards. I think those are the three names, or maybe Skinny Zion.
I
Skinny's eye.
I obviously the Thunder I think are going to be elite again because of their youth, but I'm interested in Milwaukee, man. Getting Miles Turner coming over from Indiana to basically give you Brooke Lopez only younger. And they don't have Dame because I think that, which I called that when it happened. I knew that experiment wasn't going to work. Um, I'm excited to see what that looks like again. I want to see. I want to see what. I want to see what Dame does in Portland again. I want to see what happens because Portland had some stretches last season where
Yeah, wait, is Dame playing?
he
Yeah,
might.
he
I
should
mean, he
be
might be. I
playing.
know he tore his
I,
he tore his Achilles, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
So
I
he
thought
might
he
be
was
out
going
the
to be
he's
whole
out
not
year.
this
gonna
year.
play.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's
Well,
probably not gonna play.
okay. Well, then in a couple of years, whatever. I just want to see. It'll be cool to see Dame back in Portland. Um, but yeah, I think Milwaukee is a sneaky team in the East. Personally, I think New York should be the favorite, obviously, but um,
They got to
team I'm
get their
most
head out
excited
of
to
their
look
own
at, man.
ass.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Houston, man. If I'm being 100% honest, adding KD, who's a bona fide scorer to that group that literally would have won probably 10 more games last season if they just had a closing style scorer.
Mhm.
They just didn't have it. They tried to get Jalen, what is it?
Jalen Green.
Green,
Yeah.
yeah. They tried to get him going and they just couldn't. You don't have to do that with KD, man. KD's going to have it going all the time. So having somebody you can throw the ball to in the mid post and just let him go to work when you need a bucket, and then teaming him up with Al Prince Sengun and um,
And signing
the twin
and then signing Russell Westbrook to come
yeah
off your bench
yeah
Eventually,
putting Uncle Jeff, KD, and Russ back on the same
with
roster,
Steven Adams.
and with Steve Adams, bro, come on. But
Thunder's
because
playoff
Van Vliet's out, right? He just
towards
tore his ACL, did
ACL.
he?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so he's
he's
out. So
gone.
they need a point.
Yeah,
You know,
Hey,
just
this
saying.
it is. I seen Steven Adams. He had an interview and they were asking him about KD, and he was like, "Mike,
Yeah,
he's not a bad teammate, Mike. You know, he's a
he,
good
he
guy.
looked
He wasn't a dickhead." And I was like, bro, Steve-O, you may want to watch what you say because now
Yeah.
Thunder fans are going to be like, don't you ever say that about him again.
We're not retiring your jersey because you said that. I
I
feel like
if
the
if
Thunder would
I
retire
think
his
San
jersey.
Antonio probably takes a step too,
Yeah.
and Denver. I think getting rid of Porter
Oh
Jr.
yeah, we got
and
Dylan.
getting
yeah.
Cam, is it Cam? What the hell's his
From
name?
Brooklyn,
From
yeah.
Brooklyn, yeah.
Oh my, Cam
Cam
Johnson.
Thomas.
Johnson, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
See, I
Johnson.
kept
Yeah.
wanting to say Thomas, but I knew that wasn't right. But for
Thomas
some
is the one.
reason,
Thomas is the one that jacks up a
yeah,
shitload of
no,
shots.
Yeah.
no, getting Cam Johnson, I think is a better Michael Porter. So
Yes.
I'm
He can
curious what
help on
Denver's
the
going to look
defensive
like.
side of the ball. Michael
That
Porter couldn't
too,
do that at all.
and he
Yeah,
can score in more ways.
yeah,
Porter was just a catch and shoot. That was it. That's all you're getting from him.
yeah.
And he only played well against the Lakers in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. But yeah, I'm actually excited. It's coming up fast. We're gonna have pause. We're gonna have way too much stuff to watch. But gents, finishing with this, Cam, you did mention you didn't get a chance to watch it. However, Isaiah, did you get to watch at least the last 3 UFC fights?
I watched from start to finish. So
I did not.
I took a step away from college football in the mid slate, and I was like, I'm only gonna flip if the score is close, and I watched them. Yes, I watched the
Khalil
entire. Well,
Roundtree, Yuri,
yeah, I watched
uh,
them all.
Marab, and Sanhagen, and then
Sandbag, my boy,
Alex. We can chat about those quickly.
my boy.
What did you think about the Yuri and the Khalil Roundtree fight? That was a banger.
That was a banger
So,
until Khalil does this thing when he gets in exchanges with people where he just leaves his fucking face wide
well,
open.
that's what I was about to say. I watched like highlights, and I was like,
Yeah.
if this fool does not figure out how to protect his face, he's going to
Well,
die.
and I think by that point
He
he's
was
rocked.
gassed.
He's gassed. He's like, fuck, man, I got to try to do something. But he doesn't run away. He doesn't have any head movement because that's
He
exactly
didn't
what happened
take him
whenever he
down.
fought Perea. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, it's too late now. It's too late to try to take him down because Yuri moves. He's so, well, one, he's so awkward when he's moving, but his head movement mixed with how he ducks and gets in between punches, it looks like some boxer shit. Like it looks like homie is loading up and he's like damn near he's literally bobbing and weaving through your punches and stepping through like face up like Obon Elliott used to step through people, and he's just rocking his shit. It made me mad because Khalil was winning that fight. And all
Easily.
he had, yeah, by far. And all he had to do was not be fucking stupid in that last round.
He did
And
it.
Yuri came out because Yuri wasn't really pressing him either in the beginning of the fight. So like if you're just standing and exchanging with the guy, like Khalil Roundtree will beat the shit out of you. But once that pressure starts coming to him, his defense has looked worse and worse. Even whenever he fought Jamal Hill, the thing that helped him against Jamal Hill is he was using his kicks to keep Jamal Hill away from him doing that. But Yuri was like, "I'll eat every single one of you. I don't give a fuck. Like I'm coming after you." And he just kept bobbing and weaving, and he caught him with that left hard. Well, he had rocked him. The last minute of the fight before it got called, he was already rocked. Like it was straight survival mode. And then when he caught him with that left, I've never seen Khalil fall like that. I've never seen him with his eyes rolled back, just
Yeah, he
like
was.
this.
Well, I think it was a mixture of he was gassed and he got hit really hard.
Yeah,
Yuri put the
and
pressure on pretty hard.
normally his cardio is good. Like he didn't look tired against Perea until the fifth round. He didn't.
Yeah, but training for a 5 rounder versus a 3 rounder, he probably
It's
didn't train
different.
as hard.
Yeah, I can see that.
Gas tank is a little bit different, and then
Yeah,
as weird as it is, it's probably less cardio fighting Pereira than it is Yuri
yeah,
because you
you got
have
to
to
move a lot.
chase. Yeah, you have to chase Yuri to hit him.
Yeah,
Alex, while you like the you getting hit is way worse. The standing and trading is a little bit easier because you're just checking leg kicks, watching head kicks, and then his left hook. So I think
yeah,
that played a little bit in it. But good on Yuri. Good dub.
yeah.
way to
Yeah.
way to pick it up. And then
He's so
after that,
philosophical, kind of weird.
yeah,
He
yeah,
speaks in
he
riddles a
sounds
lot.
yeah, that's CTE. And then after that, your boy got dominated. Old Sandhagen. Um, it was almost exactly what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah.
Corey is a great fighter. He had moments. He did.
Won the
He was
first
able to,
round
yeah,
convincingly.
won the first round. Almost got finished in the second round, and I think from that point on, Marab was just like, okay, I think the damage of him knocking me out with one shot isn't there anymore, and I'm just gonna ragdoll him.
Mhm. He
I,
had to kind of test his power out,
yeah,
see what Corey could do. I think really he competed, and you could argue that it would have been close in the fourth round
hmm
with how the fight went. But by the time it got to the fifth round, like Corey was literally he had to get up almost 30 times.
39, I thought.
Well, that was the total takedown attempts, but he took
Oh
him
yeah, yeah,
down.
yeah.
I
20.
think over 20 times. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
he's
just getting up that much, fuck. I mean, what else?
you're gonna have to it's gonna have to be Marab and Umar or Marab and Peter Yan. Those are the only two
Yeah,
guys that have a chance. Um, I want to see Corey fight Sean. That's the only fight that I want. I think
yeah,
I think Corey, first of all, I what Marab did to him, I didn't think Corey would almost ever get finished. So now it makes the Sean fight even more
more
interesting.
enticing.
But
Yeah,
I do think that Corey is a better mixed martial artist than Sean. I just think Sean hits harder.
yeah. I I would like to say that it would look a little more competitive if he fought Piotr Jan again versus Umar, because I think that that would be like a real, like it would be not quite a snooze fest, but I think it would be a really difficult like chess match. I think with Piotr Jan, he could wrestle just as good as Umar in some aspects of it, but I think his stand up game is a lot better than Umar.
Yeah,
So
yes, but he gets caught. I love Peter Yan.
yeah,
The his issue is that his, that fucking shell. Hands
yeah,
way up here, dog. Marab is taking you down. So
bro,
yeah,
he's
like
diving that
I
shit
think
like
I
so.
think he has to be in a rematch. If he's not more aggressive, then it'll be the same thing. But then after that, brother, I tweeted after the main event, and I said it, and I stand by it, and I don't give a fuck. Alex Pereira is a better MMA fighter than Izzy. It's I don't think anything that Alex has done. He cleared out the middleweight division. He cleared out the lightweight division, light heavyweight division, and now he
Mhm.
wants to go to heavyweight. Izzy beat a mixture of the same people. He went to beat Jan Blachowicz. He couldn't. Alex ran through Jan. He ran through Yuri. He ran through Jamal Hill. He ran through Khalil Roundtree. He lost to Ankalaev and then came through, and it looked like he had a torch on a knife and just pulled some fresh butter out
Yeah,
the fridge and just
yeah, and just carve them off. I think it was crazy because normally when you see Alex Pereira fight, normally in the first round, it's very much a hey, I'm gonna fill this out. We're gonna fill each other out. We're gonna see how it goes. We're yeah, it's all feints. It's all trying to set
leg
up.
kicks.
It's all doing yeah, leg kick, um,
Yeah,
leg
none of
kick.
that.
Like
None of
no,
that.
they didn't even dap up. They didn't even exchange like a dap. Like no, he just walked
He
his
went
ass
straight to
down.
he went
Yeah,
straight to the center of the
Bro, I'm
octagon and was
telling
like,
you,
yeah,
it's because Ankalaev was talking hella shit before their first fight and ended up winning. And Perea kept trying to tell people he was hurt. He
he
wasn't
said he was
100%.
hurt and sick.
Yeah.
yeah. He was like, I
And
was at 40% in that
Yeah.
fight, and I
and
barely lost.
Ankalaev was talking shit after the fight. And Peloton
People
was like, all right, I'm gonna kill him.
people
I'll be happy
said,
to.
yeah, people said, there's no way you were at 40%, bro. And then after last night, they were like, he was
They're like,
absolutely at 40%.
I
40%.
could
Yeah.
argue he was at 35%.
Yeah,
If that's
because
the
that
case, if
was,
this motherfucker could do that quick,
bro.
I think also,
I
I've
sat
never
up to
seen him
watch
that
it.
aggressive. That was
He
definitely him
that
trying
was
to make a statement. Like,
Yes,
mhm,
he was pissed. I
yeah,
sat up
mhm,
thinking, okay, we're gonna get 3 to 4 rounds of this. I want to see him like defend takedowns,
mhm,
and before I could even finish the thought, he landed the right hand. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh my God.
It
It
was the
literally
pace
was.
of which he was throwing those shots on the ground. I was like, Uncle Ive's not gonna get up.
He couldn't. He was 12-6 elbow in his head.
Yeah, they were
Bro,
like, it's legal now. It's legal. It's
Yeah.
legal. Remember,
it it happened so like it was so fast and
minute
active
and 27 seconds.
that the whole fight was on Twitter within like 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why that's the only fight I watched, because I saw the notification come through ESPN that he won the belt back, and I was like, oh, it's only 90 seconds, and I
Right.
went to Twitter because I was like, I just want to see the shot that ended the fight, and the first
It
thing
was
pulled up
75 shots.
was the whole fight, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, he whooped his
Yeah.
ass like that. Okay.
I was, if you go back and rewatch it, he landed a leg kick, just one of those sneaky Alex Pereira leg kicks. He landed a leg kick, and I don't know how much damage it did, but it made Ankalaev switch stances for a second. And once he switched,
Like the
The rat
crazy
cave.
thing about Peloton's leg kicks is I don't ever feel like they look that bad.
right?
But everybody talks about how bad they hurt and
Izzy
how
said-
hard he hits. Like
Izzy
how-
said he
how-
chewed his legs up in both of their fights like that.
yeah.
He said there were a couple times where he fell, where people thought he got knocked down, and he was like, "No, my legs were dead.
Yeah.
I couldn't stand."
Like, but when you're watching it, like it's not like I felt like Dustin Poirier's leg kicks are loud.
Yes.
And they sound painful.
Yeah.
You don't hear
Think of Gaethje's.
Peloton's fucking leg kicks. You don't ever hear them. And they don't it doesn't look like he throws them hard.
It looks like he's just touching you to push you
Yeah.
back. Yeah, like,
I mean,
hey,
They're effective as hell, man.
they're like, oh,
but then you realize that he's like 6'5", probably walks around at like
240.
245.
Yeah,
This
And-
man gained 30 pounds after the weigh-in before the fight.
they were both
That's crazy.
huge. They were huge paws, and yeah, that leg kick I think changed it. He switched almost immediately, and then as soon as he switched, yeah, Peloton was like, "Oh, you're switching right hand,
Yeah,
right
now you
hand,"
got it.
and it's crazy because he hurt him, and Uncle Live was like, "I have to wrestle. If I grab him, I smash him," and he was like, "Nah, Bucko, you're getting smashed."
Because he
I've
defended
only
how many
seen-
takedowns in the first fight? He
A
defended
lot.
like over 10.
Yeah,
I think.
he actually was doing good defending the takedowns. He was just getting beat up standing up, and
I've only seen a ground and pound land more shots one time in my whole life. And you guys know which one that was.
Mhm. That's what I
There was
reminded me
so
of.
many goddamn
But-
shots.
yeah.
When
Bro,
he
he-
went down, I was like,
he-
oh my God.
The 12-6 elbows in his head was bad enough. Then
But
he
the one in the
switched to the
body?
body, and I was like, yeah, I'd have tapped.
Bro, and then when he hit him, I think one clean one in the ribs, and Uncle Iev immediately dropped his hands to
Yep.
protect his
And-
ribs.
and he went right back to the head.
Right back to the face. Yeah.
Yep.
What bothers me about the 12-6 thing is now that it's legal,
give John his
you
win.
need to wipe that L off of John
Yeah.
Jones' throat. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Like,
I agree.
people can think what they want about John Jones and the type of person he is, but that being his only blemish and it's no longer illegal, I mean, they need to wipe that away so he can truly be an unblemished fighter. Like,
Besides that
that's
cocaine,
just- yeah,
And cheating on his wife and running from the law. But
and headbutting
that's
the headbutting the cop
but
car.
one can argue that he's undefeated in those two. I mean,
That is
he's-
also
those
true.
fights.
That is
He's
also
never
true.
because
That is
he's
also
not
true.
in prison.
Yeah. No, John is undefeated in my eyes.
The one thing that was really telling of how this fight was going to go, and I didn't realize it, is when you're watching, the promo stuff going into the intros. Like, I've never seen Alex Pereira speak so much
Yeah.
about it.
Yes. Anybody.
Normally, his opinions, he's just like, he's a good fighter. We're gonna compete. Yeah, like
Chama.
even with Izzy,
Comma.
yeah, even with Izzy, he was like, I got a lot of respect for him. Like, blah, blah, blah,
I just think I'm a better fighter. We'll see. Blah blah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to
it's
talk
always
too
like
much.
very passive. And
Yeah.
this one, he was like, "No,
I'm gonna
fuck him
slap
up."
this motherfucker.
He was like, "No, he don't even realize like I was half-assed, like I was barely alive going into that octagon. That's why he beat me."
It's crazy. So what do y'all think it says about Izzy now? Like that Peloton has come
That's
out of
why he-
kickboxing and dog walked Izzy's division, lost to Izzy,
That's
and then has now moved up and dog walked the light heavyweight.
that's why Izzy wouldn't refight him. That's why.
Yeah.
And he
Well,
showed like
because he
that's
knew.
why. It shit
Yeah.
sucks.
Like
It's
y'all don't get it until
yes.
it happens to you.
Yeah.
It's one of those to where I understand thoroughly when you fight somebody 2 times in kickboxing, 2 times in MMA. He beats you 3 times, you beat him once, and you're like, I'm never playing you again.
You're like, fuck
Because
it.
Story's up.
yeah,
Story's
yeah,
over.
story's over, bud.
Yeah.
And Alex is like, no, we need to refight. And
Fight's
he's like,
over, dude. Fight's over.
Like I said, I understand 100% because
Well, the
when he went to
mental
light heavyweight, I remember thinking like, I don't think he's going to do as well. People aren't going to Sean Strickland him where they should take him down, and what like people are just going to no. Yuri was like what the only person he didn't finish, and he beat well I said Yuri, my fault. Jan Blachowicz is the only person he didn't finish. Yuri, he's finished twice. He's about to finish for the third time if they fight again. He knocked Jamal Hill's. He started CTE for Jamal Hill.
yeah.
Um, Ankalaev gets beat
Khalil
up bad. Yeah, he didn't
Khalil
finish
was
Khalil. Yeah, that's right.
Khalil was really trying, but you could tell that like the same thing that Izzy was talking about. You saw that when Khalil was fighting him. You're like, fuck, dude. Like he's just
He turned it on too. Khalil looked well.
When he fought Khalil, man, I saw the Kimbo Slice backyard fight.
Man, yes.
Like
Yes.
Khalil's face was so fucking trash
Yes.
at the
Yeah,
end of that
beat
fight.
up.
They could have stopped it. And speaking of which, shouts out to Herb Dean because Herb could have let that go on last night a little bit longer. Thank you, Herb. Clapping for you, buddy. Because a couple weeks ago, you may have still not stopped that fight. He could still be hitting him with elbows. So shout out to Herb Dean. Way to listen to the mean tweets or whatever. But yeah, I mean, what do y'all think Alex goes from here?
Man,
I think it would look
is it?
going up to heavyweight. Because those guys have to make weight, and their cutoff is what 265.
265. And he walks in around to like 240, 245.
Yeah, I think if he vacates light heavyweight, or if he just moves up to fight a heavyweight fight, you got to start him slow. I mean, maybe a ranked guy, but start him slow. Like start
Derek
Everybody
Lewis.
wants him. Everybody wants him so bad to fight John. I don't want that to happen. John will end him.
I like Moustakis.
That's my opinion.
I think if you start him with like Moustakis to start, and then if he beats him, then you look at it, you're like, okay, well maybe.
No, y'all taking too much time.
Bro,
Give him Tom right now.
Derek
Fuck
Lewis
that.
would be an
Give him Tom.
absolute fucking war.
Maybe
between him and
the only reason I'm unsure is because of the skill of striking that Alex has.
Yeah.
Usually when Derek fights the skill of strikers like that, he just looks horrible. Maybe after Tom destroys Cyril Gahn, maybe you give him Cyril Gahn.
Yeah, that'd be a good fight.
Yeah, I can see that.
There's nobody left in light heavy at the top that he hasn't beaten, correct?
No, you're right.
No,
because it's
Carlos Ulberg.
Yeah,
but
we at the fight.
Well, yeah, but we understand what would happen. Like, no disrespect to Carlos Ulberg, but I don't want to see Yuri get knocked out again. I don't want to see Khalil get beat up like that again. Jan Blachowicz has disappeared. Maybe you just start pulling people from the Dana White Contender Series and just say, "Hey, you won yourself a fight with Peloton.
You've won yourself a fight with Undertaker, player."
Exactly. One on Undertaker.
And then you see fucking.
Oh, yeah.
And then that's the last thing you see.
I know you just won the Dana White Contender Series player, but tonight you go one-on-one with Peloton.
The crowd pops, face changes.
You got to do the dong. Yeah, I would like to see him go to heavyweight, maybe. I guess. Me personally, I'm at the opinion of if you dominate a division, I don't even want to see you wait. I was for Ilya moving up and fighting Islam. I'm to the point now to where, because some of the guys are getting older and retiring, just speed rush people. Fuck it. Make interesting matchups. I don't care. I don't care about. I'm tired of the fucking people. Oh, I don't want to fight this guy. I don't want to do that shit. I want to see interesting matchups. I want to see Sean Corey. I want to see Alex go up and fight Tom. I want to see just whatever crazy matchups. I want to see Hamzat and Bo Nickel. Even if Bo doesn't even deserve, I don't care. Give me some good shit. Give me Give me who if Islam beats him, give me Islam and Shavkat Romanovic. Give me
Well, he
the
just got hurt again.
Yeah, I know, but I just need to see those. Give me Max and Charles Oliveira. Give me interesting fights. I don't care about the sport of it at this moment because there are so many dominant champs right now that you're gonna have to start doing some champ on champ action. Pause. We're gonna have to see Marab is gonna have to go fight Volk.
I want Khabib to come back and fight
He's not.
either
He's
one.
doing a hostile KFO.
Come shot where the the other knucklehead that he trains.
Islam?
Yeah, Islam.
Nah, they'll never fight.
I just want to see
That's
them
my
wrestle each other.
brother.
That's
I
it.
will never. That's my brother. That's my brother.
I wish that these guys that are champions now, Marab, even Umar, because I think he's better than Marab personally.
Overall, like well-rounded fighter, I think
Yeah.
he is. I think he's just. I think Marab's cardio is just.
Is insane.
Chimaev.
They were like, he didn't even sweat.
Islam.
Yeah, I know,
I
that's
wish these
fucking
guys
crazy.
came up with Khabib because I think those would be great fights. Them guys and Khabib. Like those, like I know obviously they're different weight classes, but Khabib would be in one of those goddamn classes, and it would be a great fight.
He would be in either lightweight or welterweight, and Hamzat could have made. Well, he was making welterweight.
I think
I'm
Les-
glad that he's gone. I'm not even gonna lie because
Yeah.
we wouldn't see the rise of Islam.
Yeah.
If we didn't see the rise of Islam, we wouldn't have seen like.
I
a couple
honestly
others.
believe that since he's left, the striking of the Dagestanis has gotten so much better.
Better.
Ah,
That
Yeah.
the fights, even though they're still landing takedowns, the way that they're working in the takedowns makes it look more interesting.
It's strategy wise.
Yeah,
He-
versus the product that Khabib was putting out. Khabib
I'm
was like,
shooting.
I'm shooting, I'm grabbing both of your fucking
He
legs.
also looks way
And I'm
more
gonna choke you out.
happy and way more entertaining as a trainer.
Well,
Like,
yeah, that his goal was never to fight for a long time. His goal was to smash, and then after he smashed, he wanted to give he wanted Islam to dominate. And once his dad passed, he just kind of fast tracked it. But it is what it is. But fellas, we've been going for about 2 hours now. We got some listens and some views last week. What y'all want to leave the people with this week?
I'll go first. Real quick.
Hold on, I
sign
got
off.
something. No, I'm just playing.
Okay, Alan. I just want to shout out to my sisters. My sister Corey has been accepted into Michigan State University. Has
let's
also been
go.
accepted into OU, but she's leaning Michigan State, so that's exciting to me. And then my other sister Kylie, has been offered a scholarship at Southern Nazarene. So
Let's go.
happy for both of them. I hope they take advantage and enjoy their college life and the experiences that come with that. But yeah, other than that, I appreciate everybody that listens. My opinions are my opinions. Fuck off.
Right?
So,
Right?
so they're not always right, but they're just my goddamn opinion. So I appreciate you guys for listening, and do feel free to challenge my opinions. I keep all receipts.
Right? Isaiah, I'll let you go last. Mine, thank y'all for listening. Fuck Jared Goff. Fuck Detroit. Y'all don't want to see the Steelers Nation, and y'all going to. And we're going to put a foot in your keister. So just hold that, Detroit, because it's coming, pause. Go ahead, Isaiah.
I want to leave the people with that. There's this really tall building in Oklahoma City that y'all might not know about. It's called the Devon Tower. If the Miami Dolphins don't win today, we're going to take a long trip up to the top of that Devon Tower.
And eat.
And I might take the wife to eat, but then I'm going to be like, you know what? We've lived a good life. I got to go. And I'm jumping off that motherfucker. Because if we don't beat the Panthers, I'm just playing. All that being said, no, I'm glad that we're getting the listens. I'm glad that we're getting the exposure that we're getting. And if you guys don't have a chance, I'm not trying to plug a show, but it was actually really good. Watch Cocaine Quarterback on Prime Video.
Watch our podcast. We out.
Yeah.
Peace.
First. Yeah, watch the podcast first, please.